tall in the eyes of your community. Donate today because our blood saves lives. Visit redcrossblood.org/ourblood to make your donation.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is on for your Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Ireland, best show on the radio.
Friday, April 11th version, and not so fast. You thought Mason and Ireland being together yesterday meant today? No, no, no. Momo is sitting in now for Mace. So Ireland and Momo today. As we get you ready for Lakers-Rockets tonight at Crypto.com Arena, 2 games left. The LA Kings won last night at home. That's their 30th win at home on the home ice. Just to celebrate, why don't you slide into somebody's DMs today? You get it? Sliding on the ice, you know what I mean? Dodgers back at home tonight against the Cubbies. Angels are on the road in H-Town. Those stinking Astros. Plus, we find out the Lakers go float today. Thanks to our friends at BBGO and, of course, the Lakers. Let's get to it. The biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland with Momo, your Friday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon. Laura, is Morales drinking again?
No.
So why does he think Andy Kamenetsky is sitting in for Mason? I know you're shocked Mason is not here. But was Momo ever
No.
in?
Actually,
No.
yes. Actually,
No, she was never on the schedule.
Oh.
So never on the schedule. Yesterday, we got a text
okay.
that Mason needed, to take the day off. So I was like, okay.
It has been a long week from returning from vacation.
Right.
He was
So-
off all last week, so 4 days this week was actually
He's gotta
pretty
reset
good
his
for
body.
Mace. Right.
So I went ahead and asked Momo, hey, can you come? And she said, I have something, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, Andy. Andy's like, I'm actually going to be in the afternoon show. And I'm like, well, can you? Momo's like, I can do the afternoon. So we swapped. But Momo's name was never on the schedule.
Yeah, I think Chris is drinking again. That
It's a
must be
shame.
it.
You know, he almost died.
Yes, I do know that.
I mean, yes. But
I'm actually very glad you're here today, Andy, because we have many, many NBA things to discuss. And for those of you who don't know, Andy and his brother Brian host the Locked On Lakers podcast, available wherever podcasts
It's never
can be
behind
found.
a paywall, John. Did you know that?
I did know that, and I've also heard a rumor, you can confirm it, that there's a YouTube component.
Yes, for the sickos who like to watch, there is a YouTube component.
Now, wait a minute. That's how people consume media. We're on right now, Andy. We're on the
bunch of sickos watching
ESPN
us
LA
right now.
YouTube channel.
Yep.
All right. So you and I have been doing this about the same amount of time. Can you remember a final weekend of the NBA season when there are so many teams within a game of each other like the Western Conference standings are right now?
No, it's insane. I mean, maybe there's been a tight race down the stretch over the last, 10, 15 years ago that I just can't remember off the top of my head. But this feels exceptionally tight with so many possibilities in play, which, by the way, makes it great that at minimum the Lakers have already solidified a playoff spot.
Right.
That the play-in is not something they need to worry about at all.
Okay, so let's give you the latest. The latest is, as Andy mentioned, the Lakers have guaranteed a top 6 spot. So they are not in the play-in tournament. They are going to have next week off no matter what. What we don't know is where the Lakers will be seated or where their opponent will be seated because it is so insanely close. But there is a very good chance that tonight the Lakers are going to lock up the 3 seed. Here's why. Their magic number to lock up the 3 seed, Andy, is 1. They need to win either tonight or Sunday at Portland. As I mentioned in Super Crosstalk, the Rockets are locked into the 2. They can't go up. They can't go down. The Rockets played the Clippers a couple days ago, or yesterday, I guess it was. Or it was 2 days ago, right? It was the night.
All these days now.
It was
blur
the
into
night
each
I
other.
was in Dallas. So Wednesday.
Yes, you are
Okay.
correct. Yes.
So Wednesday, the Rockets sat everybody, and I texted my buddy Matt Thomas, who has my job for the Rockets, and I said, hey, do you think your guys play on Friday? He said, because it's the Lakers probably, but not for more than 30 minutes, any of them. Well, now that's off the table. Here's the injury report that just got released by the Rockets. Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason, Alpi Şengün, Jabari Smith, Jason Tate, Amen Thompson, and Fred VanVleet. That is 7 rotation players all out. The only reason Jalen Green is not out is that he has a consecutive game streak, 184 straight, that he does not want to end. So I would imagine they're going to play Jalen Green for about 15 minutes. That's what they did against the Clippers. And the Lakers should, Andy, with 7 rotation guys out, lock up a 3 seed tonight. Now, fast forward to who their opponent's going to be. Let's assume for the sake of this discussion that the Lakers are the 3. Right now, it's Friday. The season ends Sunday.
So nutty,
okay?
man.
Right now, if the season ended right this second, it'd be Lakers-Warriors round 1. But Memphis, Minnesota, Golden State, Denver, and the Clippers are all first-round possibilities for the on how these final 2 games go. Now, I have gone on record, Andy Kamenetsky, and I have said I want Lakers-Warriors round 1 because I think that's a super series. I think that's LeBron against Steph. I think it goes 6 or 7. I think it will be the highest-rated first-round series in years. I want all the smoke. I'm here for it. Mason has the opposite. What Mason wants is Lakers, Memphis, and half the Grizzlies to have the flu and not be able to play. He wants the easiest road. Where do you stand as the host of Locked On Lakers, as somebody who basically does analysis of the Lakers every day? What should Laker fans be rooting for as an opponent?
I think it's tough in the sense that all of these teams, I think, can be very good. I agree with, if this is what Mace thinks, Memphis would be the easiest of all these opponents. Right. They're going through some proverbial bleep at the moment between the coach getting canned, Ja's latest celebrations.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
There's a lot going on. They just lost Jalen Wells, and that's a really big deal.
Yeah, he was a rookie that had a great year. He broke his wrist on a dunk.
And first of all, I'm glad he's okay because that was he was actually unconscious for a little bit, and they took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
It was a nasty
Never
fall.
want to see anybody get hurt.
He's a really important two-way player for them, and I think he's going to finish with a lot of Rookie of the Year votes. I don't think he'll win, but he's going to be in consideration.
Yeah, I think Stephon Castle from the Spurs is probably the Rookie of the Year.
I think he will win. I think Memphis is probably the opponent that you want if you are just looking for the Lakers to get the easiest first-round matchup. Like Rui, I don't know what the Grizzlies ever did to Rui. Rui
loves playing against those
guys.
Loves
torching.
He's great in that building.
Yes, he is. He loves it. If you want the fireworks, it's either Lakers, Warriors, because, again,
LeBron against Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, Luka, Austin Reeves.
But you could also look for Lakers, Clippers, because we've never had it before, and Lord knows there have been times where we thought it was coming, and then we didn't get it. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
By the way, did you see who the Clippers play on Sunday, on the last day of the year?
Yeah, the Warriors.
I know.
That
could determine the Laker opponent.
I know.
And
we've
by the way,
never had Lakers Warriors. Lakers Clippers.
Here's a weird thing with me. I don't want the Clippers. I think they're incredibly dangerous. I think Kawhi Leonard is playing.
I thought you weren't ducking smoke, John.
Well, but here's the thing. The smoke, I think, the biggest smoke comes Lakers-Warriors. That's what I want.
Okay.
But if it's Clippers, I think that's a coin flip as to who wins it.
It'd be a tough series, man.
I think the Lakers would beat the Warriors. Maybe I'm wrong, but they beat them 3 out of 4 this year. Warriors beat them a couple weeks ago. I just think it'd be a great series. I think Lakers-Clippers would be fun, too, though. Yeah, but I think
Plus no travel for as far as the rest factor,
that's true.
All that stuff.
I looked at I think the Clippers are going to be the 4. But if they lose that game to the Warriors, they could drop to 5 or 6. The Clippers have an easy game tonight. Do you know who that's against? I need to look it up.
Let me take a look.
I think the Clippers win tonight. And then
they're playing the Kings.
Yeah. Where is that game?
That game is in Sacramento. And the Kings.
The Kings are locked into the 9, right?
No.
They could drop to the 10?
Yeah, they are only 1 game ahead of the Mavericks.
Okay, so the Kings need to win too.
Yeah,
I think the Clippers win that game, and then it comes down to Sunday. But that's one of the things we'll be kicking around all day today. Is this is the closest Western Conference race we've ever seen?
So fun.
The Lakers have 5 possibilities for an opponent, and that's if they lock up the 3. Now, God forbid the Lakers lose tonight and lose Sunday, and then they could drop literally to the 6. And then somebody else would be the 3, and Lakers wouldn't be the home team.
But here's the thing, though. Like, heading into this season, and I've been saying this all year, the baseline goal for this team was avoid the play-in. Like, we've seen the last 2 years, the Lakers having to just bust their asses to get themselves into the play-in, and that takes a lot out of you. Just avoiding the play-in in and of itself, that's the baseline goal. They know they're in the playoffs. That part of it has already been achieved. They should be able to win one of the next 2 games, especially since they're playing Rockets light.
Right. And we'll have more on that. Michael and Pepe are coming in today. Michael has the game, so we've got a lot to do today.
I like Michael's games.
Dodgers are back in town. They open a series against the Cubs tonight. We'll talk about that in a second. First, I want to tell you about your Southern California Toyota dealers. Here's the deal if you're looking for a new car. You've got to consider Toyota for no other reason than every new Toyota, whether it's a car, a truck, an SUV, comes with Toyota Care. Toyota Care is a no-cost maintenance plan that covers all normal factory-scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. You're getting free maintenance for 2 years if you buy a Toyota. 2 ways to do that. You can go to Toyota.com or go visit your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyota, we make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Tomorrow, LAFC will be battling the San Jose Earthquakes at BMO Stadium, and the first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a commemorative First Responders pin presented by Kaiser Permanente. Get your tickets at LAFC.com. Hear all the action starting tomorrow night at 7 on the all-new ESPN LA app, your home for the black and gold.
Mason in Ireland, Andy in for Mace, ESPN LA.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill?
It's just better for you.
Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
With a left-handed save, he knocks it over the crossbar and saves a goal.
LAFC battle San Jose in a Western Conference showdown. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256 or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game, avnergatt.com.
ESPN LA is hitting the road. Tune in Monday, April 14th to Sedano and Cap as we broadcast live from SeaWorld San Diego. We'll explore the nation's largest standalone jellyfish exhibit, the all-new Jewels of the Sea, featuring awe-inspiring jellyfish, and set sail on a flavor adventure at the Seven Seas Food Festival. Don't miss the action, the fun, and maybe even a few surprises. Monday, April 14th. 3 to 6 p.m. Live from SeaWorld San Diego. SeaWorld San Diego. Open your world to something amazing.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
You're checking out the Waba Grill Lunch Hour here on Mason and Ireland.
Sup, people?
Why do they grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Their Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins, fresh steamed vegetables, and signature sauces. Download the Waba Rewards app today or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you. Just like Mason and Ireland are for you.
Tell me if I'm weird here. Don't answer that question.
You're weird.
I knew that was coming.
The Waba Grill Lunch Hour rolls on right now.
Mason and Ireland. Andy Kamenetsky's in for Mace as we get you ready for Lakers Rockets tonight. The Rockets are resting most of their starters, and if the Lakers win, they clinch the 3 seed. The Dodgers are back in town after a so-so road trip. They open a series tonight against the Cubs. I can't remember if I've asked you this. I have a bet with Travis.
Right.
I
know the bet.
Okay, so Travis has the Dodgers winning the World Series. I get the field. Any other team wins, then I win the bet. The loser has to do the winner's show and work a 6-hour day at a date to be determined. Now, Brian's already said he would take Travis's side of the bet. He thinks the Dodgers are going to win the whole thing. Laura, you're with Brian, right?
Of course I am.
Andy, what side of the bet is the right side?
I think from a probability standpoint, giving yourself the best odds, you want the field just because it gives you the most live possibilities. If you're asking me which side of the bet feels best at the moment, it's Travis's. Travis's feels the best.
Even though they've lost 4 of their last 6.
It's April.
Yeah.
I've not seen anything that makes me worry that they are somehow fraudulent or that they have weaknesses we didn't expect. They don't look like they're particularly dialed in right now. They look like a team that doesn't care.
Well, like Eric Karros said to me once, there's 162 games. I'm sure we'll win one at some point.
Yeah.
But that's the thing we're kind of keeping an eye on around here. By the way, they play Sunday night on Sunday Night Baseball, so you can watch the Lakers during the day and the Dodgers at night. So that's kind of cool. As you know, Andy, I will do just about anything on a dare. I've done many embarrassing things.
I believe the price is $100.
Yeah, for $100, I'll do pretty much anything. But even I have to draw the line somewhere, and this is where I draw the line. The Atlanta Braves, all these baseball teams are trying to outdo each other with ridiculous over-the-top food items.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one is available at the Atlanta Braves Stadium. All right? It's called the Home Run Stack. All right? 2 Angus patties, candied bacon, house-smoked brisket, red slaw, onion rings, curly fries with Carolina barbecue and Coca-Cola barbecue sauce. I'm going to show you a picture of the big stack. There it is.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
I would pay, if somebody said, if Michael walked in today, and he would, and said, Ireland, I'll give you $100 if you can finish this in one sitting, even I would pass.
How long is your sitting?
Let's say half an hour.
Ooh, I don't know if that's physically possible in half an hour.
You know who could do it? He's the greatest eater I've ever seen, puts me to shame. Francisco Pinto, the former Spanish voice of the Lakers.
And he, by the way, Francisco is in great shape.
Yes.
He's a lean guy.
Well, he's not lean anymore. He's very swole. He works out a lot.
Well, I meant lean muscle. That's what I meant.
Francisco could take this down. I could not. Look at this. Wow. Brian, have you seen this? Did you look at it?
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Looks pretty delicious, not going to lie.
All right. If I said $100, you have to dust it in 30 minutes. You taking that bet?
I'd take that bet. I don't know if I could do it, but I'd take the bet.
How old are you?
30.
That's the difference. Brian is literally half my age. I'm 61. Brian's 30. Okay. Would Allison be in favor of you going for the $100, or would she call you an idiot?
She'd be in favor of this. Yeah, come on now.
She might still call me
Laura,
an
how
idiot.
about you? $100 to eat the home run stack. Do you do it?
I would take it. I would definitely fail. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I think Andy and I would both fail.
You know what's fun, though, when you were talking about the difference in age between you and Brian?
Yeah.
Last year, I took my daughter to Pink's for the first time.
The hot dog place.
Yeah, and I had not been to Pink's in a long, long time. Like, not since probably late 20s or so. And I had been really concerned that as somebody in my more advanced years, that Pink's would not sit with me well. It was magnificent. It was great.
I've admitted this on this show many times. I don't know if I've ever admitted it to you, but reason 130 about why John Ireland is weird. I will only, and I stick to this rule my entire life, I will only put ketchup on a burger, and I will only put mustard on a hot dog.
You don't need to
explain that. What is wrong with me? Why is that?
I can't explain it because I hate ketchup. I won't put ketchup on anything. I think ketchup
You're the opposite of Michael. Michael puts ketchup on everything.
I think ketchup is... I used to actually have a legit fear, like phobia of ketchup. Once I became a father, I had to get over it because little kids put ketchup on everything.
Yeah.
So I had to get past it. I don't like the look of it. I don't like the texture of it. I don't like the smell of it. I can't stand ketchup.
So what do you put on hot dogs? Mustard?
I don't eat hot dogs.
You just said you took your daughter to Pink's.
They have burgers there. They got all.
Do they?
Yeah.
So you went there and didn't have a hot dog?
Yeah, I got a. I want
Did
to say
she?
She might have. She likes hot dogs. She might have. I got some type of probably like a chili bacon cheeseburger or something like that.
Yeah.
They also actually, I know what I got. I got the Poli bacon burger. It's a Polish sausage with a chili.
Sounds a lot like the home
chili
run
bacon
stack.
cheeseburger. It was. I don't remember if I finished it at least in one sitting, but it was glorious.
Yeah, I will not be trying the home run stack. I've got a couple of friends in Atlanta. I may ask them to actually like go and take another picture of this and tell me if it's edible.
For those those listening who can't see, it's one of those sandwiches that's so tall,
towering.
Yeah, like they have like
they used to have. What's a Stage Deli used to have?
Yeah. They've got like the pole in the middle that you put all the onion rings and everything through.
Right. And if you live in New York, it's a Carnegie Deli size sandwich. It's really big.
Do you remember Do you remember the Carnegie that used to be in Beverly Hills?
Yes.
I used to work there. I was a bartender there, like maybe 3 months before the place closed.
Really?
And I heard that the
most famous person who ever came in is who?
One time, Martin Landau and Anthony Michael Hall came in sitting together.
Interesting.
In my head, I don't know if this is true, but in my head, they were talking about working with Tim Burton.
Okay.
Because Anthony Michael Hall had been in Edward Scissorhands and Martin Landau had just done Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Like it was right around
Didn't
the
he win
time.
an Oscar
yes,
for
he
Ed
did.
Wood?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. It was right around the time when that movie came out. Probably the most famous people that came in. I didn't work there that long, but I had heard that Marvin Davis, the late Marvin Davis, who really
was like owned a ton of real estate in L.A.
really wealthy guy. He used to order the corned beef extra fatty, like he wanted it as fatty as possible.
Yeah, the home run stack is too much even for me. All right, coming up next, we'll spin the wheel of questions, and Mason may be closer to realizing a dream than he even knows. I'll explain that. Andy Kamenitsky in for Mace. Laura's here, Brian's here, Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN 710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
One of LA's best kept secrets in the heart of Los Angeles, East Central Hotel offers effortless accommodations and unparalleled accessibility. The East Central Hotel is for everyone looking for entertainment with their trendy spacious rooms, a renovated gym, and a patio lounge for breakfast, dinner, and drinks. Stop by their incredible Nixo Lounge before your next event at LA Live. Book your stay at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today at Entertainment's official address.
Progressive understands that bond between you and your boat, but imagine if something happened to it. Without the boat, you're just Tina with too much boat knowledge. Sure, it's helpful on the water, but with no boat, you're someone who talks way too much about knots, and no one cares what a jib is anyway. Boat Tina could get away with it because she has a boat. So make sure your boat is insured. Get Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer, and then go back to being you, Tina, who owns a boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, JOEQ. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Sedano and Cap.
Today at 3 p.m. after Mason and Ireland.
I feel like you and Neo would be friends.
I like Neo. I'm a Neo fan.
So Neo recently, hard launched his 4 girlfriends.
What do you mean
went
it was
out,
a hard launch?
Went out in public with all of them and did all the red carpety thingies and, public outing.
He has 4 girlfriends?
Yes. Yeah, he does.
Wait a second. And all 4 women are cool with
clearly
this?
cool with
Yes.
it. Yes.
Yes.
That's impressive. I only have 2 girlfriends. If Neo has 4, wow, he got twice as many lady friends as I do. I just walk in with 2.
Who's your second girlfriend?
Well, I got this other girlfriend, and me and Rachel and the third girl, we walk in together arm in arm, and everybody's like, "Oh, damn, Cap, what's up?" And I'm like, "It's the way I get down, bro." But 4, man, I love it. Way to go, Neo. I mean, you got me by 2, bro.
The LA Afternoon Takeover. That's Sedano and Cap.
On 710 ESPN.
And it is the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
That's a dumbass question.
Well, we'll see what you think of this one, Stephen A. There's a blog that I sometimes read, or a website called Defector, and there's a writer named Dave McKenna who talked about how there are a lot of TV shows, if you're paying attention, that have villainous or annoying, aggravating, dislikable characters named McKenna, like his last name.
Okay.
And the reason for this is he is very good friends with a TV writer named Eli Addy.
I know Eli Addy.
Right. He used to be a political consultant.
For Al Gore. Worked for Al Gore, then went to work for Aaron Sorkin.
Right.
And
his first big break was for Aaron Sorkin when Aaron Sorkin was looking to buff up, the writing on The West Wing and wanted to get some people experienced in that world. And his friend Eli Addy started naming all these jerk characters or annoying characters. They all would have the last name McKenna. And
as a joke to his friend?
Right, as a joke to his friend. And since then, because his friend has gone on to write for other shows, things like that, or it's just caught on, there is now a wave of different TV shows with jerk characters who all have either the first or last name McKenna, started by his friend Eli in honor of Dave McKenna. My question to all you guys, if there was a rash of TV characters all with your name that were jerks, would it bother you or would you feel honored by this?
Oh, I think I would be honored. Depend if the heel is always named Ireland or John or whatever, yeah,
or John Ireland,
yeah. You know that most of the people on Seinfeld that turn out to be jerks are named after Hollywood people. Like Lloyd Braun is a real person.
Yep.
Joe Davola is a real
Crazy
person.
Joe.
So this isn't the first time this has happened, but Laura, I'd be honored by it. Would you be honored by it or mad at it?
No, I love it. There was a soap opera in Spanish character named after me, and my mom's like, "Oh, don't you hate that everybody now associates your name with that evil woman?" I was like, "Hell no! That means they're gonna remember my name."
Brian, how about you? Honored or mad? If
kind of
every
on the,
bad guy is named Brian Cohen.
I think I would be a little mad because I feel like over time that would be a little annoying of like, oh, everybody just assumes or makes these references or jokes or all this kind of little, jabs. I'm like, I'm not that guy though, I feel like I'd get a little mad.
I'm trying to remember the Lloyd Braun character was a guy who was competing in sales with George, and he was making up all his sales. He didn't really have real
Serenity
sales.
Now.
Yeah, and but they always made and there was also a guy who left his dog with Jerry and forgot his dog. The dog's name was Farfel, but I'm trying to remember the person's
Farfel,
name.
Matzah Farfel is actually a type of matzah dish that can be made like either Passover or something like that. I want to say it's like eggs and matzah mixed up together. Like sometimes it's called matzah brie, but there's another different way where it's matzah farfel. I'd have to look up the exact recipe.
Okay, so it's an episode of Seinfeld called The Dog, and a guy drops off his dog and with Jerry, and this guy is a drunk. He's a bad dog owner. They name the dog Gavin Polone, who is an actual Hollywood producer who has worked on a lot of stuff. But that's what they used to do to zing real Hollywood people. They would make doofus characters and use their name.
And just so I don't leave my fellow members of the tribe hanging right now, the matzah farfel is really just matzah broken up into little pieces, and then it gets used into different things like a matzah brie or whatever. So I guess farfel is just the little pieces.
But that right. That is interesting. All right, so I mentioned that Mason may be closer to one of his dreams than even he realizes. So Mace has always said that his dream job is to be a Major League Baseball manager. And he's, certainly doesn't have the experience or the background to get hired for one of those jobs, but maybe he does. And the reason I bring that up is that on the White Sox broadcast, their TV broadcast, one of the analysts is Ozzie Guillen. Mm-hmm. Ozzie Guillen was a Major League manager in both Chicago and Miami. He led the White Sox to a World Series championship. So here's what Ozzie Guillen said on one of the postgame shows. Real good radio people do their job every day, and it's something that's not easy for that many years. I was just talking to my son the other day, and I was saying, bro, how do those guys prepare themselves every day to put up with fans like me who listen to them all the time? It's not easy. For Guillen, who hasn't managed since 2012 with the Marlins, he thinks that being a baseball manager is easier than being a sports radio talk show host. Here's what Ozzie says. To me, it's easy to go manage every day because every day is going to be different. Every day they got to wake up early and go to work. Yet you have people criticizing you. You have people agree with you. You got people think they're smarter than you. It's just crazy, man. I tip my hat to you guys working radio every day because day in and day out, that's not easy. So, based on Ozzie Guillen's theory, could Mason manage in the major leagues?
No. I think actually that's not what he's really saying. What he's really talking about is how difficult it is to be out of your element.
Yeah.
What he's really talking about is how much, in the end, Mason actually, if he managed a game, would recognize in real time, I am so in over my head Like, it would feel very, very difficult for him.
Well, Mason has often said that anyone could manage the Dodgers. He doesn't respect the fact that Dave Roberts has a unique set of skills.
He's wrong.
I agree with you. Mason once said that a trained chimpanzee could manage the Dodgers and still lead them to the playoffs. I've never felt that.
No, I mean, because here's the thing about it. Like, a lot of the decisions that managers make, I think especially in baseball, because baseball is such a slow-paced sport, so you have more time to think about what you're going to do, I think, than in, say, the NBA, where the game is so fast-moving and a lot of stuff is being figured out on the fly. A lot of decisions are self-evident. A lot of good decisions don't work in baseball because baseball is a sport that is rooted in failure. The real job of a manager is over 162 games, keeping a bunch of grown millionaires from killing each other. I mean, really, that's the job. And Dave Roberts is outstanding.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
At that. Like, he is so good at keeping everybody on the same page and unified and feeling good about their roles. That's actually the job in baseball.
All right, tell me if you agree with this aspect of Ozzie Guillen's argument, this specific aspect. He says, in baseball, the worst thing you're going to get criticized for is you didn't use a pinch hitter, you stayed with your bullpen too long, or you didn't go to the bullpen soon enough. He said, on radio, with the social media and everything, and people sitting in their basement listening to you make comments, you have to be careful what you're saying. You have to be careful what you do. You know, when you work on TV, radio, or whatever it is, you're walking on eggshells. So at the heart of that, what he's saying is it's harder to be good being a sports radio talk show host than it is being a baseball manager. Do you agree with him?
No. I mean, first of all, let's stop picking on the people in the basement. Like, every single time these things come up, it's always some guy in the basement getting made out to be a loser. But beyond that, like, what Ozzie's really showing is he didn't manage in the social media era, because all of these guys managing now hear the exact same amount of crap from social media that you or me or whoever doing our jobs hear from people on social media. Like, it's just different. I mean, if he means, like, you have to be careful about not saying the wrong thing or whatever, I'll be honest, I think most of the time that's pretty easy to avoid. Most of the people that get into trouble for what they say on air are courting the controversy. Like, they are trying to either walk up to that line or actually
go over it intentionally. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, it's actually pretty easy to avoid. If you don't want to get into trouble, it's actually pretty easy to avoid it.
All right, coming up next is Sports Graffiti. Here's the number if you want to be part of Sports Graffiti. Basically, we just let you call in and say whatever you want. You can talk about the Lakers, the Dodgers. You can talk about whether your last name is used as a sitcom heel. Whatever you want to talk about. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-3776. Sports Graffiti coming at you next on ESPN LA.
What's on tap today on 710 ESPN? The Lakers look to clinch the third seed versus the second seed Rockets. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Tip-off at 7:30. Hear it for your afternoon drive on 710 ESPN or in crystal clear digital audio on the all-new ESPN LA app. Michelob Ultra, a refreshing and balanced flavor with only 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. Michelob Ultra, it's only worth it if you enjoy it. Please enjoy responsibly.
ESPN
I'm
LA
Doug,
is and I'm David.
and we want to buy your house.
Let Seller's Advantage show you how we can give you more.
No fees, no commissions, and no repairs. Just a fair cash offer that can close in just a few days.
Check out our Google reviews.
And call Seller's Advantage today or visit sellersadvantage.com.
Austin Reeves rise to the occasion, and now he's bringing that same drive to his latest signature shoe, the AR2s from Rigorer. Built for speed, support, and all-day comfort, these kicks are made for players who never back down. Austin was involved in every step, making sure the AR2s match his game. Tough, versatile, and ready for anything. Go to Rigorer.com, Rigorer, and get your pair today. Rigorer.com.
Hey guys, it's Sedano. Los Angeles International Airport's People Mover trains begin rolling early next year as part of LAX's ongoing investment to transform and improve your travel journey. The People Mover train will quickly move guests between all terminals, the new consolidated rental car center, metro trains and buses, economy parking, and a kiss and fly lot. The trains will make it simple and fast to get to your LAX destination in 10 minutes or less. And trains depart every 2 minutes, beginning in early 2026. Learn more on this website, lawa.org/ESPN.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Mason and Ireland on LA's mega sports station.
Oh my, am I really on Mason and Ireland show?
Yes.
This is a great moment. Hey.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
All right, Andy Kamenetsky in for Mace today. We're doing Sports Graffiti. Your chance to sound off on absolutely anything that you want to talk about. 877-710-ESPN. Sean, you're the leadoff hitter. Sean, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, John and Andy, I got one that has you in it, John. Okay, so John Ireland's sitting at a bar in the afternoon with a bouncer. Looking at the bouncer, no one's in the place. He says, I bet you $10 I could bite my left eye. The bouncer says, you can't do that. So all of a sudden, John pulls out his left eye, puts it in his mouth and bites it. And I said, oh, my gosh. They put another $10 on the table. He says, I bet you another $10 I could bite my right eye. He says, well, you can see. You can't do that. John pulls out his false teeth, bites his right eye, and the guy says, oh, okay, you won the money. He says, wait. I'll give you a chance to win all your money back, he says to the bouncer. He says, okay, well, see that cup of water up on the rafters? He says, yeah. This cup here, I bet you I could drink this cup of water and spit all the water into the empty cup on the rafters. The bouncer says, there's no way you can do that. So all of a sudden, for all the money on the table, John takes the water, puts it in his mouth, and spits it into the bouncer's face. The bouncer, who had just won $40 and was wiping off his face, says, boy, what would you do that for? You'd already won the money. He says, see that guy over there? Andy just bet me $100 I couldn't take this glass of water and spit it into your face.
So it was a money-making proposition. Not bad.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Nick, you're on Sports Graffiti. Nick, go.
Hey, how's it going? I love your show, John.
Thank you, man.
Just want to let you know, I moved out here from L.A. to Dallas 5 years ago, and I can just tell you right now, these Mavs fans, I don't think they're ever going to get over that Luka trade. I get it, but they really did Luka wrong out here with the PR move and everything about his how he stays in shape and everything like that, though. So I just want to address that, though. But I'm happy he's a Laker. And then on my second point is the transfer portal with the NCAA is just so out of control. I'm seeing, like, women's basketball, the men's, and college football. It's out of control, and the NCAA has to step up and do something because I've never seen players transfer in and out like every year. And it's messing up the cohesion of the team, and it kind of hurts the coach, making them a scapegoat to how they coach their players also. But thanks for taking my call.
All right, Nick. Yeah, that's interesting. The Luka thing, the first point that he made, my sense is that this move will define Nico Harrison for the rest of his career unless they win a title.
I think it's going to define him regardless. It's just whether it defines him badly or somewhere in the middle, or, I mean, should it actually work out in Dallas? Well, but it's going to stay with Nico regardless of how this turns out. Like, if it turns out Nico saw something that the rest of us don't, he'll be defined as a genius.
Right.
But this is going to be the number one thing people remember about Nico, period.
Alex, you're on Sports Graffiti. Alex, go.
Hey, John, with Dwight Howard going into the Hall of Fame, does he get his jersey retired?
I don't think so.
And where does that put Rondo?
I don't think so. Normally, the Lakers retire the jerseys of anyone who spent the majority of their career with the Lakers. For example, Steve Nash, even though he played for the Lakers, not retired. Karl Malone.
Certainly not Nash's time with the Lakers.
Karl Malone, not retired. No. Gary Payton, not retired. Now, those guys are retired in other cities,
right,
but not ours, and I would say Dwight falls into that camp.
Dwight played for 3 non-consecutive years with the Lakers. One of them was an absolute disaster. One was a title. One was just sort of forgettable. Dwight so it's clear, Dwight absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a first ballot lock in my mind, but no, he should not have his number retired by the Lakers.
I don't think he will.
But he just had it retired by the Magic, though, and that's great.
We were there that night. Armin, you're on Sports Graffiti. Armin, go.
Yeah, I think I speak for all Laker fans. We're not scared of the Clippers. When it comes to the playoffs, we already know Clippers are going to clip. Our Lakers are legit. Laker fan till I die. Lakers in 5.
Lakers in 5. Next week we're going to do basically a haiku sports graffiti where every call has to end with Lakers in 5.
If I can come up with one, can I call in?
Oh, 100%.
By the way,
put you right to the top.
I saw you.
Call the hotline.
I saw you hijacking DeAndre's Lakers talk with the Lakers
yesterday.
in 5.
Lakers in 5.
Yeah, is he doing it again today?
Probably. He's supposed to do it every day.
All right, let me know when he's in there.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep interrupting him for no reason.
Also, there's a guy calling from Dallas, and I was like, that's interesting. Justin?
Let's take him now. Justin in Dallas. You're on Sports Graffiti. Justin, go.
Hey, John. Hey, I've called several times before. Yeah, I'm in Dallas right now, but I've been a diehard Lakers fan, ever since I was a kid. I lived in Orange County for 30 years. I just moved here for work a few years ago. But anyway, the reason why I called is that, I agree with Mace, in terms of, I actually want. I'm not afraid of the Clippers or the Warriors, but I think they would be much tougher outs than the Grizzlies. Plus, I disagree with you, John. I think the Warriors could potentially upset the Lakers.
Justin,
you forget a couple of those games.
Justin, that's why it's a good matchup, because we don't know who would win. You're going to have to play everybody eventually anyway. It just seems like, why not? Let's have more fun in the first round by playing Steph against LeBron. I'm not disagreeing with you that the Warriors could win that series. That's why I want them. I don't think Memphis can win. Andy, do you?
No. I would be pretty stunned if the Grizzlies beat the Lakers in a series.
But Justin, there are a lot of people like you that agree with Mason. They just want the easiest road. I understand your point.
A fun series too. Yeah, I think the Clippers and the Warriors would be both entertaining series, especially this would be the first time we get the Lakers and the Clippers, a hallway series. Well, actually, I guess it would be a freeway series now. The Clippers
now
are in
that
a different
the Intuit
building.
Dome is there.
But still, I think it'd be a coin flip, like you said, for either series.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thanks, Justin, for the phone call. Here's Nolan. Nolan, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, John, Nolan here. I'm driving up to Santa Barbara right now because I'm getting married tomorrow.
Congratulations!
Wanted to give a shout out to my fiancée, Vivian Lee. So just wanted to call in, say thanks for all you guys do, and you have any advice for a newly married couple?
Yes. Do you have kids yet?
No kids yet.
So what I would do, Andy, I don't know if you agree with this or not, is I would not have any kids for the first 3 years of your marriage. I would, unless you're older and they're biological
Time is
reasons.
not on your side.
But I think those first 3 years, whether you guys are going to be successful or not, you need to focus on each other. So I would, Andy, what do you think of that advice?
To your point, John, everything changes with kids.
Right.
Not necessarily for the worse, but just it changes. And the time that you have with your future bride starting this weekend will be definitely different once a kid is in the mix or children. So I think John is right. At minimum, unless you can't, take a year, 18 months at minimum.
Yeah, and by the way, you're already off to a good start if you're getting married in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Nice choice. It's beautiful up there. Congratulations, Nolan. Let's go to Chris on line 7. Hey, Chris, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Thank you, Jeremy. Really quick. Max Monty has got to go. I've been a 55-year fan. He's not doing enough to leave him in the everyday lineup. So strikeouts, oh, baby. No, we're not playing footsie anymore. Got to get rid of him.
Okay, so Chris,
Bryce
if you
Harper
did,
does the
if you did, who would play third or who would play second, wherever Muncy is in the lineup that day? Who would you like to see get those at bats?
Or bring one of the young kids up. I guarantee you, they won't be striking out as frequently as Max Muncy. He's got to go.
Wow,
I mean, Muncy's always been a strikeout guy, though.
Yeah, but
he's always been all or nothing.
Yeah, could I not argue, Chris, that Muncy's with all those strikeouts, he's also going to hit you 30 homers?
Not frequent enough. Only Babe Ruth is allowed to strike out that many times. I'm not doing it. You guys are holding on to your jobs. Cute. The guy got to go.
Okay.
He got to go.
Wow. There's an unhappy Dodger fan, despite the fact that Muncy's been a major part of their lineup, and they make the playoffs every year.
I just want to congratulate this guy who said he's a 55-year Dodger fan. He sounds incredibly young for somebody who's got to be pushing 60 or maybe over 60.
Oh, or maybe he is 55 and he just uses it as a manner of speaking. But you're right, he didn't sound 55.
No, he didn't sound close to that.
Let's go to Pierre. Pierre, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
Hey, guys, big fans. Question for you. Do we know what the situation with Yamamoto is right now? Because I did notice that he was scratched from the last rotation and just haven't heard any updates on him, and just wondering if it was maybe load management or if, there was something more serious to that. And also another underrated storyline is that the LA Kings playing the Oilers for a fourth year in a row, and would love to finally get over the hump on those guys.
Right. And that's a great series. And McDavid is a video game player. So is Draisaitl. They're really fun to watch. But I actually have a good feeling about the Kings this year, particularly because they're so good at home. And I think this is the year the Kings get over on the Oilers. We'll see if I'm right. Hey, here's Portia. Portia, you're on Sports Graffiti. Go.
I have a question for you, John Arlen. Will Christian Coloco get more minutes in the playoffs than Lakers in 5 tonight? Lakers will win tonight. I'm guaranteeing it.
Oh, good. You're like Michael. I don't.
Tonight's a pretty safe night, I hope.
Andy, I think Christian Coloco will get a lot of minutes on Sunday in Portland if the Lakers win tonight. I do not think he will get a lot of minutes in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Rotations tighten, they don't expand.
They tighten, and regardless of whether he or Jemison or neither ends up getting their two-way contract converted so they can be active for the playoffs, to your point, neither of them, or Alex Len for that matter, is going to play much, if at all. It's very clear JJ does not really trust any of the three on the floor.
Well, the other thing, you made a good point. If they wanted to use Coloco in the playoffs, they'd have to cut a guy. Or they'd have to drop Alex Len to give him that spot.
Same with Trey Jemison.
Right. I could see that happening because, to your point, none of the three are getting a lot of minutes, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I mean, they still have to. They don't have to do this until the last game, so there is still time to do it. But regardless of whether it's Len on the active roster, Jemison on the active roster, or Coloco on the active roster, none are going to be playing.
Let's do one more, Brian. Alex, you're on Sports Graffiti. Alex, go.
Hey, John. Hey, Andy. Longtime listeners and such. But got a question for you, John. I know you're a Raiders fan. I'm a Rams fan. I've been a Rams fan. My dad instilled that in me. He was born and raised in L.A. Unfortunately, he passed away 10 years ago, so didn't get to see them come back to L.A., but he stuck with them through St. Louis. Now, when the Raiders were there, he didn't mind the Raiders. He would root for them. He took pride in them being there in L.A., but he recalls there being an interview with Al Davis when they went back to Oakland and they asked Al Davis, well, what do you think about the fans in L.A.? And he remembers Al Davis saying, well, the hell with the fans in L.A. And since then, my dad had built a hatred towards the Raiders. And in me, it built a dislike for me towards the Raiders. Now, I want to know, one, do you recall that? And is my hatred towards the Raiders based off of a lie? Thank you.
I don't know. I've never heard that story, so I don't remember it. But I actually ended up leaving the Raiders before the start of last year simply because I thought what they did to their fans was insane. They went into a season. First of all, they let Josh Jacobs leave, so they weren't going to be a good running team. And second of all, they actually went into a season, Andy, with no quarterback.
Yeah.
And then just stuck to their guns and took their fans' money by putting that crap product on the field for a year. I now think they've made some good decisions. I like the Pete Carroll hire. I think Geno Smith is an upgrade. I'm not a huge Geno fan, but he's a huge upgrade over what they had before. And their offensive line is now bigger and improved, so they might be able to run the ball. I'm still rooting for the Commanders next year ahead of the Raiders.
That's what I was going to ask you. Are you jumping back in?
No, but I mean, they don't want me because Raider fans were so offended that I left that they're like, oh, the hell with you.
No,
And I'm
stick
like,
with your guns,
okay.
man. Stick with your guns.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put up, if you went to a restaurant and they took all your favorite items off the menu and treated you like crap every time you came in, would you keep going?
No.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't have anything.
And you can put
I was
all
a Raider
those
fan.
items back on the menu. I'm not coming
I was a Raider
back.
fan for a lot of years. I still root for them from afar, and I think they've made some good decisions. But what they did last year, what Mark Davis did last year, putting that absolute trash on the field and making and telling Raider fans, no, we're going to be good. You are never going to be good. You lied to the people that have kept you on a pedestal forever. Screw you.
It's hard, though, when you really love a team, it's hard to walk away. Like, I was a big fan of the then St. Louis, now Arizona Cardinals when I was growing up.
Sure, that was your team.
And when they left, like, I was a diehard fan. I was so angry at them. And, like, I tried to find different teams. And then I found myself wanting to go back out of nostalgia. Like, it's hard when you truly love a team. Like, fandom can't be faked. It can't be manufactured. You can't just decide, I think for the most part, you'll see what happens with you and the Commanders, to just root for a team. I think it's really hard to do that. Like, it's got to be something organic.
The reason I picked the Commanders last year is the year before they had only won 4 games. I like Jaden Daniels because he's from L.A., and Magic bought an interest in the Commanders. So I said, all right, nobody's going to accuse me of, like, jumping to the Chiefs. The Commanders might not even make the playoffs. As it turns out, they went all the way to the NFC Championship game. Yeah, so it was really fun. All right, coming up next, Pepe Montilla will join us, and we will ask this question. Did the Spanish announcers lose it as much as I did when Luka was ejected in Oklahoma? I haven't seen Pepe since this last road trip, so we'll get Pepe's thoughts next. First, got to tell you about BBGO, the official game day snack of the Lakers. When it's time to cheer on your team, you can always fuel up with BBGO. It's delicious. Mouth-watering Korean snacks and meals in minutes. Whether you're hosting a watch party or relaxing solo, BBGO makes it easy. Keep your freezer stocked with BBGO, especially Mandu, their largest, juiciest dumplings you'll find anywhere. And remember, BBGO isn't just about great snacks. It's a whole new level of flavor. As they like to say in the BBGO offices, it's minimum effort, maximum taste every time. You can find BBGO in the freezer aisle of all major grocery stores. So grab your BBGO, get ready for the game, and make every day delicious. BBGO, making the whole world more delicious, one bite at a time. Mason in Ireland. Pepe Montilla joins the show. Michael will be along as well. Andy in for Mace, ESPN LA.
The black and gold are back at home and back to MLS action tomorrow night.
Out wide, Martinez into the area. His shot, and David scores!
It's a SoCal NorCal showdown on a Saturday night as the Earthquakes come to BMO Stadium.
Maurice with a left-handed save. He knocks it over the crossbar and saves a goal.
LAFC battles San Jose in a Western Conference showdown. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
50 years at full speed. It's going to be an epic celebration at the 50th anniversary Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach this weekend. It starts with the always exciting lineup. Indy cars, IMSA sports cars, Robbie Gordon's high-flying trucks, and drifting, along with the first ever historic Formula Exhibition event featuring all 3 eras of racing at the Grand Prix, Formula 5000, Formula 1, and Indy cars, all on track at the same time. A very special sight and sound for everyone to experience. Plus the huge Lifestyle Expo, Family Fun Zone, Mother's Exotic Car Paddock, and 2 exciting concerts. DJ duo Dubs on Friday night, presented by Acura, Ventura, and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band Foreigner on Saturday night, presented by Cuervo Tequila. Fun for the whole family. This weekend, April 11th through the 13th. Ticket information at gplb.com. Come and join the celebration.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GO to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Mason in Ireland on 710.
I've got to be honest. I have no idea how you do it.
I'm not sure how I do it.
I would not. Would not be my scene.
More of Mason in Ireland right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we welcome to the program Pepe Montilla, the Spanish Lakers radio, who sits in with us for all home games. Pepe, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's always nice to see the two of you.
Google Gaga.
I'm glad that Michael isn't here yet, but
I think he has Roman duty. I think he's babysitting.
Focus.
I think he's babysitting.
But he's going to be here.
Yes.
That's not nice at all. It's his game today.
It is his game, and we all have a chance. But, Pepe, more importantly, I wanted to ask you your opinion of something. I lost it this week calling the Lakers game in Oklahoma City when Luka was ejected. I think almost everyone has heard it. But in case you haven't, here's a 1-minute version of me losing it when the officials ejected Luka. Hardenstein still trying to stay with him. Luka throws up an 8-footer. Good. And the Lakers lead 108-107.
Oh, Luka just got thrown out.
Why?
He was talking trash to a fan, and the referee thought he was talking to him.
Oh, this is an absolutely horrible decision by JT Orr, by the official. Absolutely horrible. You cannot throw a star player out of an NBA game for talking to a fan.
No, the referee thought he was talking to him, and that's why he threw Luka out.
You cannot do this. Oh, my gosh. This is unconscionable. You cannot do this in a game that's this good. This is one of the worst pieces of officiating I have ever seen, and I've done this for 25 years. I hate this call, and I would say the same thing if they were doing it to Shea. The free throw's good to tie the game at 108. You cannot, Michael, throw a star player out of the game for talking to a fan.
He didn't think he was talking to the fan.
I don't care.
The referee thought he was talking to him. That's why he threw Luka out.
They had 3 Lakers explain it to him, and he still stuck to his guns because his ego is bigger than Luka staying in the game.
Once you make the call, you got to stick with it.
That is awful.
Yeah, the referee.
Absolutely horrible. Okay, Pepe, you've been doing Laker games for how many years?
32 years.
Did I overreact?
No, because we did this basically the same. I was really, really upset because people pay good money to see the players, not to see the refs, number one. Number two, I was really upset. But you know what? That was on...
Did you lose it as much as I did?
Not as much as you did. But I don't think anybody... But you know, the thing is, the game was on... Tuesday?
The game in Oklahoma City was Tuesday night, and then the game in Dallas was Wednesday night.
Okay, so on Wednesday, I was even more upset.
Right.
I'm still upset.
Normally when you have a night to sleep on it, you calm down. You had the opposite reaction.
You know why?
Because they rescinded it.
Yeah. I was sweating. I was so mad, man. You're telling us, well, sorry. Too little, too late. I mean, that game was so important. The game was so good. People pay money
One
to
of the
see.
best regular season games we called all year, don't you think?
John, people pay money to see Luka. People pay money to see the great players Shea, Luka, LeBron. People don't pay money to see JT Orr.
Right.
And then brothers, Tony Brothers should have said, wait a second, okay? Let's talk about it. Okay.
Exactly.
Because
they
everybody's
should
telling
have
them
conferred. They missed it, and Andy rescinding it to Pepe's point almost makes it worse.
Well, except for the fact that it does help Luka with his tech count.
Yeah, he's at 14 now, right?
That's the one area where it does actually help. But that being said, though, the worst part about this, it's not even just that JT Orr clearly overstepped his boundaries in tossing Luka. He tossed him not for the reason that he thought it was. Luka wasn't talking to him. He actually tossed Luka for giving that fan what the fan wanted.
And what Michael always talks about, how he likes trash talk.
But forget whether Michael likes it. That fan did.
Right.
That fan has been going to games, buying that seat specifically because he likes going back and forth with Luka. That guy paid thousands of dollars to not get what he wanted.
It's a slap on the face.
Yeah. Weigh in on a disagreement that Andy and I have. If I was an official, you would have to do something physical for me to give you a technical. You would have to hit somebody, push me, do something. Verbally, you can come at me with whatever you got. I don't care. I would just tell you to shut up and play. Andy thinks, no, it's a workplace environment. There needs to be a level of decorum, and you can't...
Or just boundaries. Like, you're not there to just be abused by players. Like, that. Your job is not to just sit back and take it. Like, there's a certain amount of professionalism.
Isn't your job, though, more importantly, to manage the game?
Yes.
Whatever that entails. Pepe, is it a bridge too far for me to suggest that they have a meeting in the offseason and they say, guys, we're calling too many technical fouls. It's too quick. We're not issuing warnings. We're just teeing guys up. And in the case of Luka, it was the perfect storm. He already had one. So when he got his second tee, JT Orr did not want to back down from his position, which is what I criticized him for. I think if he would have conferred with the other two refs, they would have said, wait, we missed it, and kept Luka in the game. But besides that, is it realistic, the Ireland plan, that you would only give technical fouls for physical things?
It used to be like that. And, I'm in the middle. They should get together and say, listen, you have to be careful when you start giving technicals to the players. You know how each player is. Now, on the other hand, you had a good point. I was listening. Okay, for
By the way, we're on the radio, Pepe, so when you say you had a good point, you have to say Andy had a good point. Thank you.
Andy, you have a good point. For Oklahoma City, it's better to play against the Lakers with Luka because
100%.
That way you know how far you can get.
Oh, I think there's a bad result for the Thunder, too.
And not only that, okay, let's say that the fans figure out a way to do this all the time during the playoffs. Then every time JT Orr is the referee, they're going to be doing that, hoping that he will give technicals galore. I don't like
it.
Well,
JT Orr has barely reffed playoff games his entire
career.
One.
In 13 years, he's done one game.
He shouldn't anymore.
Well, my guess is he's not going to end up reffing one of the Lakers games. Like, specifically.
Although, remember, Scott Foster had that thing with Chris Paul, and they kept assigning him to Chris Paul's games.
They did, but I think Scott Foster has, for whether you think it should be or not, I think he's engendered more respect in his career than seemingly JT Orr has.
Maybe.
I never talked to any refs. The only one that I talked to and I respect and I think is the best one is Zach Zarba.
I'm right there with you. Love him. Yeah, he's great. He would, if I was picking a finals game, I would have probably in modern day, I would probably go Zach Zarba, Mark Davis, and I would still put Scott Foster in my top 4 refs. But Zarba issues warnings. He refs a lot. Zarba got criticized one year for not doing enough technicals. I like that. It'd be really hard for me to give a technical to anybody.
I had never heard of JT Orr until this incident. Like
Well, you
I
have
watch
now.
a lot of NBA games. I'd never heard of this guy before.
Yeah.
We do because we do the games, but at the same time, warnings should be like he should have said
Pepe,
to
what's
Luka.
wrong with me saying to you, you're coming at me and you're MFing me and you're in the throes of the game. How difficult would it be for me to say to you, Pepe,
stop it,
shut up?
Yeah,
I've heard enough. If you keep talking, I'm going to tee you up.
Yeah,
that took me 5 seconds, Andy, to say that. Why is that not an accepted practice?
We've talked about this. I'm not convinced that doesn't happen. I think over the course of a game, because we don't hear everything that gets said.
Yeah.
I think these guys do get warned. I mean, look, man, said already, Luka should not have been tossed from that game. It was an egregious mistake by JT Orr. Luka also never shuts the F up the entire game.
Understood.
Like, there is a point where Luka bears the responsibility for his reputation and why a lot of referees see him in an adversarial way. It doesn't mean, though, that he should have been tossed. Like, they're two separate issues.
You cannot be giving technicals on reputation alone.
No, Luka's reputation is earned. He never shuts up.
Right.
The entire game.
Right, so I'll just and then we gotta go to the break. But I will say this, Andy, the player who I saw complain more than any player in my lifetime as an NBA fan was Magic Johnson. He argued every call. Part of it was strategic. He was working the refs, but what the refs understood is that star players like Magic, like Luka, like Shaq, like Kobe, either foul or get fouled on almost every play, and you can't call them all. So those guys deserve a little more leniency. I'm not disagreeing with your point that Luka never
But I would
shuts
argue
up.
they get a lot of leniency anyway. Like, they do.
Sometimes.
They get a lot of leniency.
But Luka, you saw what Luka did. He did not deserve
No, of
that.
course he did. Again,
Yeah.
this is the worst part of it. Everything we're talking about with Luka had nothing to do with why he ultimately got tossed.
All right, we'll take a break here. When we come back, how important is a college degree to work in sports? Maybe more important than you think. We'll share that for you. Michael will be along shortly. Andy's here. Pepe's here. Lakers Rockets tonight. If the Lakers win, they are the 3 seed. If they lose, it opens up a whole world of other possibilities. That's all coming up next, ESPN LA.
Tune in to Sedano and Cap on Monday from 3 to 6 p.m. as we broadcast live from SeaWorld, San Diego. Follow our socials. Tune in Monday for a chance to win a family 4-pack and a night at family-friendly Paradise Point Resort and Spa, just minutes from the park. SeaWorld San Diego, open your world to something amazing.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Weekdays after Mason in Ireland.
First class up in the sky. I mean, come on, man.
You can be up there with me, Captain.
Nah, your contract's different than mine. Mine is.
You need to get a better deal, bro.
Back by the bathroom, up in the sky. He's in economy.
Sedano and Cap today at 3 p.m.
on 710 ESPN.
Ever feel like the road is out to... Thankfully, Hyundai is always working to ensure it doesn't, with over 130 IIHS Top Safety Awards since 2006. IIHS Top Safety Awards include Top Safety Pick and Top Safety Pick Plus awards to Hyundai vehicles from 2006 to 2025.
Lease a Hyundai Tucson for only $269 a month or get $1,750 bonus cash. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end April 30th. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gat today at 818-917-5256, or you go to avnergat.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergat.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergat.com.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions, a very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Mason, Ireland, on 710 ESPN.
Shohei Ohtani and I have something in common.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
I don't believe
we do.
Does he call in sick a lot?
No.
Okay.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on
710. Did we ask Shohei to fill in today? He's not taking the day off, is he?
No.
All right. I want to ask all you guys your opinion on this. I saw this from Dabo Swinney, the head football coach at Clemson. He says, he was talking about Deion Sanders, and he says, I love Deion. He's one of my heroes. What a shame if he couldn't do that job. He couldn't be the head coach if he didn't have his degree. He knows, he sees, and he can impact people's lives. And man, what a shame if he did not have that degree. It wouldn't matter how many halls of fame he's in. He wouldn't be qualified to do that. Andy, there is no rule that requires a head football coach at a university to have a degree. Should there be?
No, there absolutely should not be. If you're qualified to do the job, if you can get the respect of your players, if you're somebody that would be good at recruiting, if you're somebody that would attract NIL money and you know the game, no, you should not be required to have a degree.
That's all you need, really.
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. Laura, do you think you should have to have a degree to be a coach at a college?
No, I don't. I agree with the boys. I understand why some regulations are in place because, to do other things to teach at colleges, you need to have one, and depending on what college you're in, the level of degree you need. But if you have the qualifications, he's a former player, so who better than to teach these kids?
Brian, what do you think? Should a degree be required?
I kind of am leaning towards yes. As put yourself like in the college kids aspect. You want to know that these guys went through it too. Like a teacher,
That's the argument for this.
Right.
Yeah. Now, but this reminds me of Andy.
Really quick, that's an argument for a coach having gone to college, not necessarily having a degree. Because a lot of the players don't end up getting a degree.
Right.
No, that's
so
very true.
Dabo's point, he's very pro-education, and Dabo's point is, if you want to broaden this out, I think his main point is that studies show, this is what Dabo was saying, statistics and the odds and the data says you have a better opportunity and that you will make more money over the course of your life if you have an education. Andy, your point, though, is you can get an education without getting a degree.
Well,
the reason you go to college is to prepare you for the rest of your life. If you're an Olympic champion, or if you can go to the NFL after 1 year, or for whatever reason you leave college, if you're ready to start your career, I don't care if you have a degree.
Well, particularly if
you don't need a degree to do this job.
If you are a high-end player at Clemson or wherever, the reason you are at Clemson is specifically to prepare yourself, hopefully, for a career in the NFL. Like, you could bring in any coach who doesn't have a degree, and if they are serious about making sure their players go to class, they'll be serious about their players going to class. The flip side is we've seen plenty of coaches with degrees who couldn't care less if their players don't go to class, couldn't care less about the education. The degree means nothing with that.
I think what this reminds me of. A few years ago, the NBA came out and said, if you're going to be an agent and you're going to be certified, and that is the walk-in music for one Michael Thompson, who is arriving.
Michael always tickles.
If you're going to be certified, Andy, you have to have a college degree. That was directly targeted at Rich Paul, who didn't go to college.
Yep.
And Rich Paul is a ridiculously successful agent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think he's the best example. Michael, you just walked in.
Yes.
You raised 3 boys. Do any of your boys, did Clay go back and get his degree at Washington State?
Getting a college degree is the waste of time in this world. Now, sometimes, obviously, you need it if you're going to be a doctor, but for doing other things, you don't need a stupid degree.
I totally agree with you.
You don't need a stupid degree to be an agent. I can't believe the NBA crew made that a rule. That is so dumb.
You know what it was? It was the agent rule equivalent of when the dunk got outlawed for Kareem.
Yeah.
Like it was trying to stop one guy.
Right.
I should ask the NBA, did Paul Allen, who owned the Blazers, have a college degree? No, he dropped out and started Microsoft.
So did Steve
Bill
Jobs.
Gates. Right.
Yeah.
Come on, college degree.
I mean, a college is to prepare you for the rest of your life. You don't need a degree.
You don't need a college.
Yeah.
You go to trade school.
Well, matter of fact, I would argue, to Michael's point, Andy, that there are a lot of people who should not go to college.
Right.
They're just not cut
I was
out
one of
for
them.
it.
I'm a big believer in.
Did you get your degree in Minnesota?
Well, I got a degree in life.
And you failed.
I failed?
And you failed.
A degree in life and a lot of money on the side.
Imagine if Pepe was my professor. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, hey, so before we get to, you know what, I'll save that. I'll ask Michael Pepe that at the top of the hour. Let's get to What's Up, Fool. We'll get Laura in here. We'll get Brian in here. They'll throw a bunch of stuff at us. If you're just joining us, the Rockets are sitting 7 rotation players tonight. The only rotation player who is scheduled to play is Jalen Green because he has 184 straight. By the way, Michael, he has 184 and he wants to keep his streak alive. AC Green had 1,150.
Yeah,
he's 10 times behind AC Green.
And he's way behind Mikal Bridges, and Bridges like at 500 now,
Right.
something like that,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
You got to start somewhere.
But I admire that. I admire a young
do
man
too.
who wants to play every night. Anthony Edwards is like that, too. And this load management crap, I never believe in that.
All right, coming up next, What's Up, Fool? First, let me tell you about ZipRecruiter. If you are hiring, you got to use ZipRecruiter. You can use it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. My guy Ian Siegel, who invented ZipRecruiter, puts it this way. They don't leave anything to chance. They use powerful computerized matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. How quick? 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within 1 day. So go use ZipRecruiter right now. It's free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
Travis Rogers and DeMarco Farr.
Monday morning at 9 a.m. after Greeny.
When you get to the hotel room, say you go for three days or a week, you guys put your clothes in the
second I come through the door. And Susan thinks I'm a lunatic.
In the drawer?
In the drawer. Hang everything in the closet.
Yeah.
Put everything in the drawers. Put the suitcase underneath the little thing inside the hotel.
Move in.
I move in.
I do that now. I used to not do that. I do that now.
Even if I'm there for one night, I move in.
Okay, I'll hang stuff up, but I'm
Yeah.
leaving it in the bag. I'm
No.
not going to move in.
I not only do I do it, I like it.
Do you separate your socks?
Yes.
You have a sock drawer at a hotel?
Yes.
Sock drawer?
Socks and undies at the top.
Oh, my God.
T-shirts in the second. Shorts in the third. And then everything else hangs.
Makes you feel better. Hey,
I know where my stuff is.
whatever works, it works. Yes.
Weekday mornings at 9 a.m.
It's Travis and DeMarco
on 710 ESPN.
ESPN LA is hitting the road. Tune in Monday, April 14th to Sedano and Cap as we broadcast live from SeaWorld San Diego. We'll explore the nation's largest standalone jellyfish exhibit, the all-new Jewels of the Sea, featuring awe-inspiring jellyfish, and set sail on a flavor adventure at the Seven Seas Food Festival. Don't miss the action, the fun, and maybe even a few surprises. Monday, April 14th, 3 to 6 p.m. Live from SeaWorld San Diego. SeaWorld San Diego. Open your world to something amazing.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
The LPGA Tour returns to Los Angeles for the JM Eagle LA Championship, presented by Plastpro, April 17th through the 20th at El Caballero Country Club. Come watch 144 of the world's best female golfers, including standout LPGA superstar Nelly Korda and back-to-back champion Hannah Green. Tickets start at just $25. First responders, military, kids under 18, and those affected by the Eaton and Palisades fires get in free. Get your tickets today at jmeagleLAchampionship.com.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah, tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Thanks, Brian. I'm going to take the first one. All right, guys. So we talk about bobbleheads a lot on this show because, you know, we love them. Here, the Dodgers give us great bobbleheads. And usually the Shohei Ohtani ones brings out the crowd. They said that every person that purchased a ticket for those nights, they'll have a bobblehead. So I thought moving forward, everybody was going to get a bobblehead for every night. Well, no, not the case.
Really?
No. So today we have a Freddie Freeman bobblehead going on. It is a walk-off from Game 1 in the World Series, which I was at. And they're not going to have every fan receive it. It's only the first 40,000 fans.
And the stadium holds about 55,000,
yeah, but
right?
that's still like, you know, a good chunk of people that are not going to get it. There's people already doing a line outside for that bobblehead. So my thing is, why not? Like, we currently talk about this all the time. Why just not make it that everybody gets a bobblehead? Now it's just a Shohei. Sorry, John.
Yeah, when I asked that exact question to the Dodgers, and they said, this was years ago, they said, well, those bobbleheads, those giveaways, any giveaway is sponsored. And the sponsor has to agree to pay for it. But if I were the Dodgers, I would just pay the extra cost.
Of course. That's
a
the way it
cop
should
out.
be.
That's a 100% cop out.
Totally.
Yeah,
totally.
I don't get why they would only make 40,000 of these things. I mean, I guess they're thinking they could only sell 40,000 seats, but not for a bobblehead night. They'll sell out.
Especially this bobblehead, the Freddie Freeman walk-off Grand Slam. And like this.
Well, but Andy, to your point, it is, according to TickPick, tonight's bobblehead giveaway had the highest preseason buy-in average of $145 a ticket.
And people already pay so much money to get into these games. And for tonight, they're buying this ticket specifically because they want the bobblehead.
That is right.
I'm sorry. The Dodgers can absolutely make sure there's enough bobbleheads for everyone. This is an active choice by them, and it's a terrible one.
I agree with you. They should give the giveaway should be given to every fan.
Yes.
And
every
by the way,
time.
if you had extra leftover bobbleheads, you'd have no problem finding people to take
No,
them anyway.
Exactly.
The thing is, I'm trying to go to the game tonight, but I get out of work. I still have other things to do, so I don't have time to be in line.
Auction off the
X
extra
amount, you know
ones
what I
to
mean?
like your charity, the Dodgers Foundation or whatever it's called. Like there are ways you can handle the excess bobbleheads if you want to. They're choosing not to.
Go ahead.
What's
Brian.
up, Fu? Okay, so we had the caller call in, talk about Dwight Howard going into the Hall of Fame first ballot. And this is the perfect crew to ask this question to. You guys have seen him play here with the Lakers, seen a bunch of all-time Laker big men. Where do you think Dwight Howard ranks when you talk about Laker bigs? And then you get Michael's opinion. Do you think he will have his jersey retired by the Lakers?
Laker bigs. Kareem 1, Wilt 2.
Shaq 3.
Shaq 3 for sure. Or somebody might slip.
Mike in 4.
Yeah.
Pow.
No, Powell, you're talking about centers. Powell's more of a forward.
Well, he played a lot of center with the Lakers. He
did.
Yeah, but he was
always
but he
close.
also, they started JaVale or Andrew, Andrew Bynum next to him.
And Powell's,
So
Powell always went down as a forward. So we're talking about guys who are legitimately labeled center on the roster. So after Mike, and 6 would probably be, who is 6 besides me?
Vladdy. Vladdy was really good.
I would put Vladdy ahead of Dwight just because Dwight we got at the end of his career.
Vladdy's way ahead.
Yeah, Dwight's in the top 10 somewhere.
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Dwight's in the top 10.
But
maybe
Mike
9 or
Lai said
10.
he won't get his jersey retired because the prime of his career was not with the Lakers. I'd put him under the same category as Karl Malone, Steve Nash, and Gary Payton.
Yeah.
They'll have their numbers retired other places. We were there in Orlando the night Dwight got his number retired, but I don't think the Lakers will retire Dwight.
He was there long enough.
I don't either.
What's up, Fu? All right, guys, I feel like in that room, this is the perfect question to ask. So if money wasn't an option, and I know for a lot of you guys it's not, would you guys spend $3,000 for a shot of a rare whiskey? So this whiskey is 46 years old. It's called The Secrets of the Rare Bush, and it costs $3,000 for a shot. Would you guys do it?
Hell no.
No, I don't think. I'm not a whiskey guy.
Michael and I both...
Pretend you were, Michael.
No, I'm more of a wine and champagne and beer.
But you would never pay $5,000 for a bottle of wine, would you?
Well, I tell you one thing.
Oh, he would.
I remember I was at this Arab's house one night in Oregon, multi-zillionaire. He took me down to his wine cellar, Pepe, and there was a couple $1 million worth of wine down there. He took out this bottle of cognac. He said it was a few hundred years old. And if I had known what that cognac tasted like, I might be willing to pay $3,000 because when he gave me a sip of that, it was
Michael,
like,
this surprises me because even though you've done really well in life, like you have enough money to, for your whole family, I've never seen you be frivolous.
Well, $3,000 is too much, but if I had known what this cognac tasted like, if I had a preview of it, I would pay $3,000.
Really?
It was
that
like,
good?
It was like God spit in my mouth.
I would have, Laura,
It was unbelievable.
I would have bet against Michael paying $3,000 for a shot of anything.
I would too.
Laura, it was so good. I asked if I could have another shot full. He said no. I couldn't believe it. It was that good.
When I went to Cancun like a few years ago, there was a beautiful bottle in this bar. And my friend's like, hey, I like that bottle. How much is it? And the owner's like, too much for you. My friend's like, you don't know what I got. He's like, that bottle is one of one. He goes, it's over $1 million. And my friend's like, yeah, I don't got it.
Oh, by the way, in the chat, when we were talking about great Laker big men and where Dwight ranks among them, they're pointing out we forgot both Anthony Davis at center, despite all of his progress.
Center.
Yeah, for the Lakers?
But he was not labeled a center. So
No, he was labeled a center. He just refused to accept the label.
You're right. He should be in the conversation.
And Andrew Bynum.
No.
Yeah.
More than
better
Dwight?
Dwight, when he was
More
here?
than Dwight? He was the starting center for 2 championship
Bynum was pretty
teams.
good when he was here.
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
but he only played for, 3 years
But he was
before he
good.
got hurt?
He was better than Dwight when he was
He
here.
played for like 6 years here, and he was part of 2 championships.
And 32
He was an
rebounds in a game.
all-star once.
He made All NBA as a Laker.
He did?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
I wouldn't pay $3,000.
If you had this cognac I drank, you would have paid for it.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh, it was so. It was. I've never tasted anything like that in my life.
What's up, Fu?
All right, so the Masters are upon us here, and Apple TV released their new trailer for their golf show coming up. It's called Stick. It's going to be a satire kind of comedy. They said they are trying to kind of go off the Ted Lasso feel-good kind of vibes. Owen Wilson's the star, but they're also going to have Max Homa, Colin Morikawa, Wyndham Clark, a couple of other actual golfers on the PGA Tour, and then Jim Nance is going to be in it.
Is this a good idea here for the golfers? Because you don't really get to see a lot of their personality.
I love it.
So this is a good thing. And are you all in on another Ted Lasso style Apple TV show?
Yeah, and I think every time, the other day I was watching Full Swing, which is the Netflix documentary about golf, and everybody they do features on I like more. Like Justin Rose, who's leading the Masters, comes off great in Full Swing. So do some of the wives. So do some of the players. I mean, Andy, I'm all for sports-related TV shows. Like I liked Running Point. I thought it was really good, not just because I'm in it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, why not? I think it'll be fun. I mean, as long as you write good scripts for it, you have good actors, you know the world well, there's no reason that can't be a good show.
That is the problem, writing a good script.
Right. But, Ted Lasso was great. And so if Apple gets some of the same people involved, I think it's got a chance to work.
What's up, Foo? This one is definitely for Michael Thompson. So I read a story about a woman that was spraying cleaning disinfectant all over the airplane. She was trying to disinfect. It was so much that she made all the other passengers have a cough attack. So, Michael, have you ever sprayed so much, because you are a clean freak, we know this, that you've made people around you cough so much?
No. I do that. I do take my Perel Pepe and I wipe down the eating tray. I wipe down the hand stuff around me where you rest your elbows and put your hands and stuff. I wipe all that down with Perel. Even flight attendants say you should do that. The eating tray is the dirtiest thing on the plane.
I mean, definitely clean, but not to the point.
No, because I just use I don't spray. I don't use aerosol. I just use the liquid spray.
You put
Laura, I've traveled with Michael for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen Michael get mad over really anything, except if he likes to have the seat next to him open, and if the plane's completely full, and for some reason this year we've had a few of these flights, they put somebody there, and Michael, imagine this. Michael's so mad he just stops talking when somebody comes back and sits in the other row. And now they're messing with you. Like Ross Bartlett, our security guy, will come back and go.
He throws a fit like a little baby.
No, he doesn't. But he doesn't throw a little baby. But, man, Michael, I can't think of a thing you hate more than that.
Oh, I hate it, man. Especially when we go cross country. If it's just flying to San Francisco, I could deal with it for an hour. But when we go on those 3-4 hour flights, I can't stand somebody sitting next to me.
You're so spoiled,
Michael, would you ever buy a seat on a plane next to you just so you wouldn't have to have someone sit next to you?
No, that's too expensive because I usually fly first class. Not because I really need this, Laura, because I need the leg room to go to the Bahamas.
I do not blame you.
So that'd be waste of money to do that.
Are you, because you're not like an extra person. You're not bougie. You're super down to earth. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times when we talk about things, people are like, is Michael? I'm like, no, Michael's one of the coolest, most down to earth people ever. Are your boys like... Yes, really, Pepe. Are your boys like that too, where they're like, oh, I don't want anybody sitting next to me? Because they're tall too.
Yeah.
So are they like that, or is it just you?
I think they're like that too, because they are 6'6", 6'7". So I think they would like the extra room if nobody was next to them. But they don't bitch about it, So they just accept it like I do. I do, yeah.
Like you.
Yeah. Oh, I bitch about it, but I do it quietly. I seethe. I can't stand it.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not outwardly complaining, but it's like I know him really well, so I look back at him and go,
ruins my flight.
You know what James Worthy told me after the ref?
Yeah.
But he did. He said, instead of giving technicals to the players, they should say, I'm not going to give you a technical, but you have to fly normal.
Commercial?
Next flight. Yeah. That's not the worst idea in the world.
Well, they'll make them appreciate how spoiled they are.
Brian, you got one more? Is that it?
What's up,
I got one more here for you. So it's the first weekend of Coachella. And there's already been a couple of videos online of people, saying 8-9 hours to get into their camping spot, which is pretty crazy. But the headliners this year, Lady Gaga, Green Day, Post Malone, and Travis Scott. Not really our demographic, but my question here is there any artist that would get you guys out to Coachella?
I don't like those outdoor music festivals. I think they're all kind of, overcrowded and crazy. But, Andy, if Sting and the Police got back together and did like a reunion concert, I would go.
It would take something like that because, like you, I've been to a few of the early Lollapaloozas. I've done it before. I enjoyed it. I also know that, to quote Lethal Weapon, I'm getting too old for this bleep. The idea of an outdoor festival with that type of crowd sounds awful. Maybe for something like a Police reunion, or I've never seen Radiohead. They were like one of my favorite bands that I've never seen. Like there's very few bands like that. Maybe Radiohead would get me there. Maybe like Outkast. I've never seen them, but for the most part, no.
Yeah, I don't think
not
so
doing
either.
I wouldn't do it unless the Beatles come to life.
Yeah, like Prince comes back from the dead.
What
you
about
might do it.
hologram Beatles? Pepe, would you
Michael,
go?
I can't imagine any circumstance that would get you to go to an outdoor music festival.
Only if it was in Orange County. I am a Rolling Stones addict, and if they were playing at the Angel Stadium, I'd go to that.
Well, there you go.
That's about as far as I go. 20 minutes from the house.
There it is. All right, coming up next, realistically, how many points could a basketball player score in 2 minutes if they got hot? We'll pose that question. And Pepe has come up with an analogy that Michael and I can't figure out.
Maybe Cam Niski could help us.
Yeah.
And maybe the listeners out there could help us too.
Laura is going to understand.
Okay, so we'll have Pepe explain his latest analogy, which to Michael and I makes 0 sense. That's all coming up next. ESPN LA.
The black and gold are back at home and back to MLS action tomorrow night.
Out wide, Martinez into the area. His shot, and David scores!
It's a SoCal NorCal showdown on a Saturday night as the Earthquakes come to BMO Stadium.
Maurice with a left-handed save. He knocks it over the crossbar and saves a goal.
LAFC battle San Jose in a Western Conference showdown. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
So Mark Real from Real Fathers writes, I always say on the air, you have to have the right family law firm that is going to get you the happiness you deserve and the justice you deserve.
Really, the legal system is designed and set up for fathers to fail. I set out to create a firm and to create something that would help all men navigate that successfully.
We have a new phone number for Real Fathers Rights.
833-ESPN-710.
And RFR710.com.
Yes, RFR710.com.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details and restrictions, please visit fvgradio.com. If you want a 100% complimentary stay in Cancun at a luxury resort, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now at 800-417-6411. That's 800-417-6411. You may also be eligible for an exciting bonus vacation in Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your stay for up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird, and you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation in Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-417-6411. Again, call 800-417-6411 and give us your answer. The proceeding is not a contest or sweepstakes. It is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and is not sponsored by or affiliated with this station or program.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. And our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Like hormone-free chicken, ribeye steak, wild-caught salmon, and shrimp. Our steamed vegetables and signature salads are made fresh for you. Our sauces are more flavorful for you, from sweet and spicy to fiery hot. Download the Waba Rewards app or order online at wabagrill.com. Waba Grill, it's for you.
This PGA Tour moment is brought to you by True Green.
Leading by one stroke in the final round of the 1958 Masters, Arnold Palmer plugged his tee shot on the par 3 12th. Palmer felt he should get relief, but the rules official told him to play it. He did and made a 5. He also played another ball and made a 3, and would let the committee determine which score would count. When he reached the 15th, he was told his 3 would count. A critical decision as he won by one stroke.
True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That's where True Green comes in. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, so they know a thing or two about keeping grass looking like a fairway. It's more affordable than you think, and they'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Head to TrueGreen.com today. Let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
All right, listen up. Whether you're out for a walk, hitting the gym, or just tackling your day, in this LA heat, chafing is no joke. Take my word for it. That's why you need Highlands Chafing Relief. This stuff is a game changer. Goes on like a cream, dries like a powder, and stays put even through sweat and water. No greasy mess, just all-day protection. If you've already got some chafing, Highlands soothes it fast with aloe, shea butter, and tea tree oil. Don't let chafing slow you down. Grab Highlands Chafing Relief at Walmart or Target right now.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
There's LeBron and Luka, the dynamic duo taking over the NBA.
I can't believe that we just had an assist, LeBron James to Luka Doncic.
But before that, there was the original duo, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Ireland has an idea. I do. I think it's stupid, but there are other ideas out there.
More Mason and Ireland right now.
All right, Mason and Ireland show. Andy Kamenetsky filling in for Mace. Michael Thompson's here. Pepe Montilla's here.
Pepe's got to explain something.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Michael, if a professional basketball player got hot.
Yeah. In the NBA.
Yeah, or,
Yeah, the NBA, yeah. 24-second shot clock.
NBA, WNBA, yeah. How many points could you score in 2 minutes if you got super hot? I mean, considering that it's a game situation.
And your teammates realize, oh, my goodness, he's hit 3 in a row. Let's keep him going. Within 2 minutes, with the threes, how many points could he score?
Yeah.
I guess 24. I guess that'll be like, 6 possessions? So 6 times 3. I would say 18 to 21 minutes.
18, 21 points. Pepe, what do you think in 2 minutes? That's a lot.
I would say about 35 points.
No, in
2 minutes? 2 minutes?
Yes.
Whoa.
How?
Wow.
I mean, in 2 minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What would you thought he said? 20 minutes?
Wait.
2 minutes of an actual game.
Yeah.
Going back
First
and forth.
quarter.
With
He's hot.
defense.
12 points.
Yeah, that's about right. Hey, Andy, what do you think?
You got to factor in threes.
18.
Okay.
I'll go 18.
Yeah.
So you guys know that David Letterman does this thing. My next guest needs no introduction. The one he dropped this week was with Caitlin Clark. And she told a story, and there's video of this, so she's not embellishing it. In practice, this is typical of women's programs anywhere. They practice against men, all right? Just because it gives them, a little. So when they get in games against women, it's easier. The speed is easier to control. So Dave asked her about a rumor that she had once gone crazy in a practice in 2 minutes. Listen to this.
So we have a practice team that's just all guys. They have to be students at the university. They basically just volunteer their time, and I think we were down 15. So we make a couple threes. We cut it to 10, maybe. I don't even know.
Now, when you say we make a couple of threes, was it you or was everybody making threes?
It was me, but the points went to the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story.
I'm sorry. 22 points in 2 minutes.
22 points in 2 minutes.
Yeah, you could do it.
That's insane.
That's 6 threes. I mean, the other team had to throw it away sometimes, and you have to get some steals, and they have to keep finding you. But you could get 18 to 20. Yeah.
Michael, you love trash talk.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Caitlin talking. Was asked if there's any trash talk in the WNBA.
Really talks trash to me, honestly. I swear to you. Maybe that'll happen next year. But the only thing is, if somebody says something to me, I probably will go back at you, but I'm not going to really start it. Somebody that did talk trash was Diana Taurasi. But all in good fun. We were playing them at home, and she fouled me, pretty hard from behind. And I, turned around, and, I said to the ref and said to her, I'm like, it's intentional. You didn't even go for the ball. Blah, blah, blah. And she, came back at me, and I'm like, all right, do it again. And, we just kept going back and forth at each other. And then we went down to the other end, and one of her teammates got fouled. And we were, standing outside the three-point line with each other while her teammate was shooting the free throw. And she came up to me, and she's like, I just love you. That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's cool. Obviously, that's somebody I grew up watching their game and
yeah.
idolizing. And I was like, I love you, too. And I, went and got the inbound, and we went down to the other end.
And, Michael, you said something to me the other day. We were doing a game, and you said that in terms of on-the-court impact, driving fan support, that there's never been anyone like Caitlin Clark, particularly in the women's game, that those numbers that they all reported going through the roof last year weren't necessarily about the WNBA. They were about Clark.
It was all solely about her. She's the biggest draw in basketball history outside of Michael Jordan. Magic and Bird, of course, saved the league. Everybody's saying I agree with that. Obviously, LeBron is a huge draw. Steph Curry is in that class now. But as far as women are concerned, nobody even close to Caitlin Clark. I don't even know why anybody argues about it.
Yeah, she is a once-in-a-generation, solar eclipse of a basketball player. She's unbelievable.
I'll remember.
Who?
I'll remember.
Ariama doesn't like her. Yeah, said she wasn't worthy.
Gino.
Yeah, Gino.
All right,
Doesn't
so
like you.
When
Yeah,
we
I know.
were, what were we talking about when Pepe threw that analogy in?
Why you don't need a college degree? Because I said if you were in certain professions, like Paul Allen, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Zuckerberg, none of those guys went to finish college. They had an idea and they started it. If you have a business idea, you don't need college for that.
Okay, and Pepe.
But you're just talking about.
No.
Wait a
Let Ira
minute.
explain.
I'm going to give you a chance to explain. You came up with an analogy
Makes
that
no
involves a donkey and a harmonica. Explain your analogy.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Okay. See if this makes sense to you, Kamenetsky, and our listeners.
There is a saying in Spanish that says, "Como el burro que tocó la flauta."
What does that mean, Laura?
Okay. So
Look at Laura. She looks confused.
No, wait.
Let Pepe explain.
That means that, okay, so in a town, there was a donkey that was eating grass, and then he found a harmonica. And then he blew in the harmonica, and the harmonica started playing music.
Sure.
Okay, so everybody said, oh, the donkey can play music. So what I'm trying to tell you is, of course, you're going to say the one for Facebook, and this and that. That's the particular one.
You're saying that those guys are the rare donkeys who can play harmonica.
No. See, you're confused already.
No. Those guys are okay, but sometimes there is going to be one that is just going to, by chance, get something, and he's going to do it. But the rest of the people don't do it in general.
Laura?
Brian, do you understand what the hell, how the donkey and the harmonica fit in?
Not at all.
Laura, do you?
It's
okay, Pepe, mire, I love you, okay? Pero when you said that, there's a few other Spanish-speaking people that went, huh?
Okay, well, okay. This is an old saying in
not
Spanish,
nice at all.
Okay, so I'm sorry.
What's
but,
a donkey and a harmonica got to do with college?
No,
some of the people.
That's my question.
Some of the people are going to understand.
No,
this,
I think.
I thought I understood it, but apparently I don't.
I don't expect for you
thought I
guys
got
to
it.
understand this.
Focus.
because, You know what?
The thing is, I was on the same alignment with Andy, like, oh, they're the anomaly of people that did happen.
You can put it either
But
way.
sí, pero if you would have just said, yes, you're right, Andy, then I'm like, okay, it makes sense.
You can put it either way, but it's you got a point, Andy, okay? It can be either
I thought
way.
that's what you meant, that like the Bill Gates, they're the rare donkey that can play the harmonica and didn't need to go to music school.
You can apply that to that. Okay,
that's what I said.
Michael, you should know this. You should know this, but I don't expect
Michael,
that
is
from
he
you.
making any damn sense?
Pepe, take the L. Take the L, Pepe. Take the L. We love you, but take the L.
No, you should know that, but I don't expect you to know that because it's history, and you were born before history was invented.
Wait, Pepe, on the chat, Peter Acevedo, so you know he's Latino. It says, Rudel Lopez, even more. I'm Hispanic, and I still don't understand what Pepe's talking about. I'm sorry, Pepe.
Okay, sorry.
You're confusing your own people.
There's a great comment in the YouTube chat from Brooding Robot. John's stories are long and boring. Pepe's stories short and confusing.
We love you, Pepe.
I'll take short and confusing.
Yeah. Oh, boy, that was funny. All right, coming up next, the Gafote is here.
Yes.
We just met the Gafote all the way from Japan.
Wow.
So we'll fill you in on who won the Gafote contest. By the way, Game of Games coming up later. It is Michael's game. And if you want to win in Game of Games, you have to
focus.
So that's coming up in about half an hour. Mason in Ireland, Pepe's here, Michael's here, Andy in for Mace, ESPN LA.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah. Tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes. LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
ESPN LA is hitting the road. Tune in Monday, April 14th to Sedano and Cap as we broadcast live from SeaWorld San Diego. We'll explore the nation's largest standalone jellyfish exhibit, the all-new Jewels of the Sea, featuring awe-inspiring jellyfish, and set sail on a flavor adventure at the Seven Seas Food Festival. Don't miss the action, the fun, and maybe even a few surprises. Monday, April 14th, 3 to 6 p.m. Live from SeaWorld San Diego. SeaWorld San Diego. Open your world to something amazing.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Harry Douglas here. Picture this, folks. You arrive at a hotel, you have an important meeting online, lined up with clients from all across the country, you have your laptop open, ready to begin, and the Wi-Fi is so terrible you can't even connect. These type of stressful situations happen all the time. But they don't have to. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you have access to their free, high-speed Wi-Fi. So you can take care of those critical emails, join meetings on time, and even unwind streaming your favorite shows without having to worry. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Hey guys, it's Cap. Here's the scenario. Your home is flooded and the damage is severe. Now it feels like your insurance company is turning on you. They won't approve a replacement living arrangement and the adjuster leaves you in the lurch. Take a breath and call Avner Gatt, one of Southern California's largest public adjuster firms. Avner Gatt knows how to fight back when your insurance company makes you feel like a criminal, leaving you with no hope of getting into your home and getting it all back together. With decades of experience and a passion for helping people, Avner and his family take the call themselves. So whether you have a toilet overflow, a broken water line, a burst supply line, a broken fire sprinkler, whatever the water damage is, you call Avner Gatt today at 818-917-5256 or you go to avnergatt.com. It's 818-917-5256 or avnergatt.com. You call, Avner answers, he says hello. Your claim is our game. avnergatt.com.
Mason, Ireland, on 710 ESPN.
Shohei Ohtani and I have something in common.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
I don't believe it.
We do.
Does he call in sick a lot?
No.
Okay.
Right now, more of Mason and Ireland on 710.
All right, speaking of winning, Mason and Ireland, Andy Kamenetsky and for Mace, Michael Thompson's here, Pepe Montia is here. We have a winner in the ESPN Greatest Laker Fan of All Time contest. We opened this up to the whole world, and the guy who won it is here today. It's a guy named Makoto Takushi, and Makoto and his guest Hitomi are going to the game tonight. Here's part of what he wrote in his application. He wrote, I've been a Laker fan for over 20 years. I fell in love with the team in the early 2000s when Shaq and Kobe dominated the league. I visited L.A. for the first time in 2004 to attend the All-Star game, and since then, I've come back almost every year. I also had the chance to attend the All-Star games in 2011 and 2018. In Japan, most Laker games take place around lunchtime. Because of the time difference, I check the scores briefly during work breaks, then watch the full replay on my commute home or after I get back. It's not easy to avoid spoilers. Sometimes even the train monitors give up the final score. So, Michael, they went to Japan to find the Gafote. That's a picture of him that you just met when he walked in. Yeah. That's a picture of him behind you. And here's what he wins. He got round-trip airfare for him and a guest from Tokyo to L.A., He got a room at the Ritz-Carlton.
Nice.
He has 2 courtside seats for the game tonight. He got a tour today of the broadcast studio. He's touring the UCLA Health Training Center. He gets a meet and greet with current or former players on the Lakers. Maybe they can get Rui to meet him since Rui's from Japan.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
How about this? A year's supply of BB-Go.
That's so
for a year.
Wow.
And a $250 digital gift card to LakersStore.com. Congratulations, Makoto. Congratulations.
Jersey right now as we speak.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot a bunch of stuff with Makoto after Mason and I are. Then we're going to put on our social channels, so you can see all that going on after the show. Okay, I wanted to ask in particular all 3 of you guys about this. Tom Haberstroh, who used to work for ESPN, he's now working for Yahoo, writes that Nikola Jokic has been completely failed by the Nuggets. Of course, Jokic has won 3 of the last 4 regular season MVPs. Haberstroh says Jokic should demand a trade, and here's why.
Lakers?
Not yet, but here is why Haberstroh is making this case.
I'll take him.
Jokic, Michael, has never played on his own team with another All-Star
That's right.
or another All-NBA player.
Yeah, how about that?
Magic, during his career, played with 35 of them.
All-Stars?
Like some of them were multiple,
Right,
like
yeah.
Kareem and Worthy. But 35 either All-Star or All-NBA selections.
Well, let's just count the individual player. So how many did Magic play? Jamal, All-Star.
Yeah.
Kareem. Bob McAdoo, All-Star, Hall of Famer.
Right.
Michael Cooper, Hall of Famer. Not an All-Star,
Was
but Hall
Norm
of Famer.
Nixon?
One time, I think.
All-Star?
Nixon was an All-Star? Had
Yeah,
to be.
two of them.
So that's 5 right there. Who else?
Yeah.
Who else are we missing?
Well, Kareem probably had 10 of them.
Did you say
No,
McAdoo?
I'm just talking about even
Did you say
individual players. I
McAdoo?
said
Did you say
McAdoo.
James Worthy?
Right, but Mike, you see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The way they got to 35 is if Kareem made 10 All-Star
Yeah,
teams,
but-
that counts as
But
10.
he hasn't played with a guy who's played in 1 All-Star game. So let's just count the individual players. And the closest All-Star he's played with is Jamal Murray.
Right,
you know?
who hasn't made an All-Star team yet,
he's good.
but could one day.
He's an All-Star caliber player. He
Right.
just hasn't been an All-Star.
But is that a fair point?
Oh, yeah? Are you kidding me? Needed Hakeem Olajuwon. Well, he ended up playing with...
They won the title, Michael.
That's right, with Clyde. Yeah. And
No,
so-
but I mean, Jokic won a title with his teammates.
But I said it the other day. I think I might have been talking to Beto. I said when all this news came down with Malone, I told Beto on our pregame show, I said, I don't think Jokic is going to win another title in Denver if he stays there. I think he's going to have one and done.
Why is that?
Because they got rid, and I think I even mentioned this with you. I said they got rid of the team that they won with. They got rid of the next year. They got rid of Caldwell Pope, Bruce Brown. They let the veterans
Well, Bruce
go.
Brown they couldn't keep because of
Why?
CBA rules.
Bleep that. Pay him and
Well,
pay,
no, they
pay,
could
and
not
pay the penalty.
They couldn't pay him.
Why?
Yeah, well, they
Because the
could,
rule-
Andy, but the penalty would have been...
No. They because of when they had signed him contract, they could not match the offer Indiana gave him. Like they actually couldn't pay him.
Couldn't they cut some people and do it?
No, they because of the. You know how
I
when
don't understand that because you're allowed to go over the cap.
Some
Which
guys,
is-
if they're coming off either like a veteran's minimum
Yeah,
or something
yeah,
like that,
right.
there can be a limit to
Restrictions.
how much you can
The
offer.
the KCP thing, I
The
just
KCP,
don't
that was money.
understand.
That was straight up
bad.
money.
That was
Stupid,
really
man.
bad.
Are they a factor in the postseason? Like it looks like they're
No.
going to play the Clippers in the first round.
Nah.
Could they take the Clippers out?
No, they're done. I think obviously Jokic will be a problem, and they'll be a tough out. But I can't see them winning now.
All right, so Pepe and Michael, Andy and I covered this in the very first segment. You guys weren't here. If the season ended today, the Lakers would play the Warriors in the first round, which I love. I think Lakers-Warriors in the first round, it would be a classic series, super fun to call. Pepe, you and I and Michael and Samuel would get to call all those games. I think it would go 6 or 7. I hope that it stays the way it is right now. It's possible that they could play one of 5 teams. That's how close the Western standings are. We don't know who they're going to play yet, but they could play Memphis, Minnesota, Golden State, Denver, or the Clippers. I like the Lakers-Warriors matchup. I don't know if the Lakers would win. I think they would be a slight favorite because they would have home court, but I want that. Mason is the opposite of me. He wants whatever the easiest road is. He would, if you gave him his choice, he would say, I want Memphis, and I want them all to catch the 24-hour flu before game 1. You know, he just wants the easiest road to the playoffs. Michael, if you could pick the Laker opponent in the first round, who would you pick?
I'm not afraid of anybody because the Lakers showed the other night in Oklahoma City they could whoop anybody when they're on top of their game. So I would pick the best hotel, and that would be San Francisco.
Okay.
Because they can beat anybody.
I let you pick
I
the
would
Lakers'
pick
first-round
I would
opponent.
pick Memphis.
Okay. Because they're the easiest team to beat.
Well, not because I think the Lakers match better.
Doesn't matter.
against Memphis.
Michael is actually the perfect guy to ask because you went through this when you were about to enter the playoffs and you're starting to see the seeding and you're thinking about who you might play. Typically, did you want the toughest opponent? Or
We
were
didn't
you
care.
Okay.
We're the freaking Showtime Lakers. Utah Jazz at the time, Portland Trailblazers. We didn't care. We could play anybody and beat them.
Matter of fact, I think Michael was on a team, Andy, I think it was in 88, that to this day is the only team ever to do this. In the second round against Utah, they went 7, won it. In the conference finals against Dallas, they went 7 and won it. And in the NBA finals against the Pistons, they went 7 and won it. 21 games in 3 rounds, and you guys won Game 7 in all 3 rounds.
And we also went the shortest route to the finals. 11-0 going into the finals, got swept in 4. 15 games we were done. Don't laugh. We didn't have Byron and Magic.
I know that. I know the backstory.
And by the way, if
the
that,
hamstring.
if that 11-0 is confusing,
Yeah.
back when Michael played, the first round was best out of 5.
Best out of 5.
So they
yeah.
swept the first round series in 3, swept the second round series in 4, swept the conference finals in 4. Pat Riley made them do 2-a-days.
In Santa Barbara.
And-
Because we had 10-day break between the finals and the West
Oh,
finals.
by the way,
and
let me
finals.
ask you guys about that. So the Lakers are going to get a week off here.
Yeah.
Do you practice hard to stay in shape, Michael? You've done both. You've rested and you've practiced hard. If you're JJ Redick, how do you play the week off?
You got to go. You got to have some simulated scrimmages. You know, not long, like an hour or something like that, just to keep the guys act like it's sort of similar to playing a game. Just have the referees there to call the games. Have a couple of simulated scrimmages.
Pepe,
No,
what do you
not over the top, right?
No,
Just-
nothing like what we did 2-a-days. Nothing like that.
No, I agree.
Now,
with that.
Andy said that the Rockets, in case you guys are just joining us, the Rockets are resting 7 rotation players tonight. Almost all their best players are out. Jalen Green's going to play a few minutes because he has a consecutive game streak. Against the Clippers the other night, he played 15 minutes. But everybody else that you've heard of is out. Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, Alpi Şengün, Amen Thompson, all out. Michael, Andy would not do that if he was Ime Udoka. He feels like you've had a great season all year. Your guys are in rhythm. The playoffs start next week. You already wasted a game the other night. Now it appears you're going to waste.
And in particular, this Rockets team is very inexperienced. Like, that's
Right.
the biggest piece of this.
So do you agree with what Ime Udoka's doing, or is Andy right that they're risking something by sitting these guys for 3 games in a row?
Yeah, they're going to have 10 to 12 days off. I would keep playing these guys. They're young. They're energetic. I would play today. I'd play them half the game on Sunday. Let them play. Let them keep in rhythm.
Pepe, how about you?
I like this. You make them rest and don't take any chances for a player to get injured.
You can get injured in practice.
I'm actually with Pepe on this.
So you shouldn't
think-
practice?
I think the NBA season, Michael.
It's a different story.
We
You just
played-
said it.
No, Michael, we played more games in March than any NBA team has ever played. We played 17 or 18 games in the month of March. And part of that was because of the fires. But this has been an incredibly grueling schedule. I come down on Pepe's side here. I think that if the Lakers win tonight, they sit everybody on Sunday.
They will, yeah.
Oh, they will.
But you wouldn't?
No, I would keep them playing 20 minutes. Tell them to go out there and play. You can't put yourself in bubble wrap and
You
play.
know nothing, man.
What do you
know
mean?
Nothing because why did they get injured? Look what happened to Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Michael, you're kind of on both sides of this because you always say when a game is decided, take players out.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Because this way, yes, you're locked into your seating position, but you can play 20 minutes.
No. You're wishy-washy, man.
Well, how?
Because you said one thing and then you changed.
So should they play tonight?
They have to.
Tonight they need to win.
Why? They're in the top 6. What does it matter?
They need to
because
win.
you want to get the 3rd seed.
Obviously, you don't know what you're talking about.
But here's the other thing: the Rockets could, Andy, conceivably send the Lakers to the other side of the bracket. I guess they're not. They don't even want to try.
I think from the Rockets' perspective, if they want to sit guys, which again I wouldn't do in the first place, but considering they want to sit these guys, I think they probably recognize the odds of the Lakers ending up 4 or lower because of this are pretty remote anyway. Like so much other stuff has to happen in order to make that happen, like to get them out of their side of the bracket. To them, it's not worth playing their guys. Like, I think they just feel like
they've just made a collective decision.
We could beat them, and they still end up the 3 seed anyway.
And by the way, you can do both ways. You can do, some people like Sean McVay always rests people. It appears like Mark Daigneault, the coach in Oklahoma City, is playing everybody.
Right. Now, here's what the Rockets are ultimately deciding, though. What they're deciding is we don't want to make them play potentially all their guys on Sunday, because if the Lakers lose tonight, then they do need to make sure they win this game Sunday to get that 3 seed.
Correct.
So that's really the thing.
So the Warriors will beat the Blazers in Portland tonight. They'll keep them in 6. And then on Sunday, the Warriors will have to play
the Clippers.
They host the Clippers, and they'll both have a lot to play for. So
that game's in San Francisco,
yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the Warriors will win the next 2 and be the Lakers' first-round opponent.
All right, coming up next. I agree with you, by the way. I think they're playing the Warriors in round 1. Coming up
Great
next.
hotel.
Is it bad if you're an NBA head coach to win the title? I'll throw some numbers at you that indicate it might be. And John Morant has a new celebration. He got rid of the gun, but he's added something that to me is the same as the gun. We'll go into that too. First, let me tell you about trash. Food waste, that is. Tossing your food scraps in the regular trash sends them to landfills where they release harmful gases like methane. Fight global warming by simply sorting your food scraps and placing them in your green bin. It's quick, easy, and helps protect the planet. If you're ready to do your part, visit cleanla.com or call 888-CLEAN-LA for more tips. This message funded by Cal Recycle, Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA.
ESPN LA is hitting the road. Tune in Monday, April 14th to Sedano and Cap as we broadcast live from SeaWorld San Diego. We'll explore the nation's largest standalone jellyfish exhibit, the all-new Jewels of the Sea, featuring awe-inspiring jellyfish, and set sail on a flavor adventure at the Seven Seas Food Festival. Don't miss the action, the fun, and maybe even a few surprises. Monday, April 14th, 3 to 6 p.m. Live from SeaWorld San Diego. SeaWorld San Diego. Open your world to something amazing.
Why do we grill to order at Waba Grill? Because it's just better for you. Our Asian-inspired menu has high-quality proteins that are healthier for you. Right now, get our Value Bowl combo for only $8.99. Waba Grill. It's for you.
Hey, it's Beto Duran. If you've ever been in a car accident, you know how stressful it can be. My boy Leo and the crew at Active Collision are there for you. They're the experts at taking care of your business. I'm dealing with it right now. Hit and run. The back of my truck was smashed. I thought it was just a simple fix the tailgate. No. Leo said, boom, boom, boom. This is a problem, Beto. Let me take care of it. 626-330-0100. 626-330-0100. You'll get a 50% discount on your deductible when you let them know that 710 sent you. Or check them out on Instagram at active.collision.
50 years at full speed. It's going to be an epic celebration at the 50th anniversary Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach this weekend. It starts with the always exciting lineup. Indy cars, IMSA sports cars, Robbie Gordon's high-flying trucks, and drifting, along with the first ever historic Formula Exhibition event featuring all 3 eras of racing at the Grand Prix, Formula 5000, Formula 1, and Indy cars, all on track at the same time. A very special sight and sound for everyone to experience. Plus the huge Lifestyle Expo, Family Fun Zone, Mother's Exotic Car Paddock, and 2 exciting concerts. DJ duo Dubs on Friday night, presented by Acura, and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band Foreigner on Saturday night, presented by Cuervo Tequila. Fun for the whole family. This weekend, April 11th through the 13th. Ticket information at gplb.com. Come and join the celebration.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
Dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Next Gen is the official AC, heating, plumbing, and electrical company of SoCal sports fans. That's right. Next Gen is the absolute best in the biz with thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Clogged drain? No problem. Call Next Gen today to book your $88 drain cleaning. That's right. For just $88, you'll receive a professional drain cleaning to keep your home flowing smoothly all season long. Call 833-3-NEXT-GEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN for your $88 drain cleaning.
NEXGEN, call 833-3NEXTGEN.
Mason in Ireland on 710.
I mean, would you rather have good life or sex? Good sex. Good life, good sex.
Well, I got both.
There you go.
That's
good
for you,
answer.
Johnny I.
More of Mason in Ireland right now.
All right, Game of Games coming up in 10 minutes. It's Michael's game. What's your game about, Michael?
Well, who are the Lakers playing tonight?
The Houston Rockets.
Well, yes, we'll find out what you guys know about Rockets.
Okay, that's
Very
coming
little.
up in 10 minutes.
Very,
Hey,
very
let me ask
little.
you guys something. So when the Nuggets fired Michael Malone, it continued a very strange trend with NBA coaches. Malone is now the 4th NBA coach from 2019 to 2023 to win a title and then get fired. He follows in the line of Nick Nurse, 2019 Raptors, 3 years later fired. Frank Vogel, 2020 Lakers, 2 years later fired. Mike Budenholzer, 21 Bucks, 2 years later fired. And now Michael Malone, 2 years later, fired. Steve Kerr is the only coach with a championship during that span to remain employed. Ime Udoka, who led the Celtics to the finals in 2022, also
Well,
fired.
I mean, that was a very different set of circumstances. That was for workplace behavior, not anything else.
But the fact...
Two adults in love. What's the big deal?
The fact remains, Andy,
Careful.
that,
Careful.
the fact remains, that's not one or two.
Sure, no, but I'm just
That's
saying.
five.
I'm saying I think Udoka's a bad example. The other guys, I understand where you're getting at.
Michael, have we gotten to the point? It used to be if you won a title as a coach, you were a made man.
Yeah.
You could stay for as long as you wanted to. Those days are over, right?
Yeah. The owners are very impatient now. Obviously, in Denver, sounds like their superstar was not happy with Mike Malone. Has gotten tired of his abrasive kind of grating ways.
Well, there was a ton of problems between Malone and Calvin Booth, which is ultimately why they both got fired.
But isn't the overwhelming theme of this is once you win the title, they expect you to win another one. Like that's your new, if you were a salesman, that's your new baseline.
You know what it is? It's the new version of, remember how guys would win Coach of the Year and then lose their job?
Right.
Now winning a title is the new version of Coach of the Year. It's the kiss of death.
But what is the reason? I agree with you. They expect for them to keep on winning. And when they don't do it, they said, okay, we're going to try with somebody else.
Yeah, like I would not have fired Nick Nurse. I would not have fired Frank Vogel. I don't think I would have fired Mike Budenholzer. And I'm not sure I'd fire Mike Malone.
Budenholzer's an interesting example because they had been looking to get rid of him.
And then he
won
on
a
that
championship. Like, so he was somebody that they never believed him. To be totally honest, the Lakers never really believed in Frank Vogel. He was
even after he won the title.
He was at best their third choice when they hired him. I would argue he was their fourth because I think they really wanted Jason Kidd, but because of a lot of stuff with Jason Kidd,
They wanted Ty Lue first, right?
They wanted Ty Lue. They wanted Monty Williams. They, I think, wanted Jason Kidd, but there was a lot of optical stuff with Kidd's past and domestic abuse situations that they didn't feel comfortable hiring him. But the truth is, I mean, remember when Frank Vogel, right before he got let go, like the season before, they gave him a 1-year extension. That's a fake extension. Like, that's not a real extension. They never really believed in him.
I really like Frank. Always have. I matter of fact, I don't think he's done coaching. I think he'll
I wouldn't have
coach
fired
again.
him. I'm just saying I'm not surprised that it happened.
All right. The other thing is, did you guys see John Morant got in trouble for doing the gun thing? You know, he did, like he shoots finger guns, and everybody said, well, you can't do that. You have a history with guns. And then finally he did it again, so the league fined him. So he's come up with, have you seen this, Michael, his new gesture? The hand grenade. He pretends like he's lobbing a grenade into the other.
First he pulls the pin with his teeth.
Right.
Like a real soldier.
Wait a minute. So if you're going to tell him, don't use gun gestures,
right,
but grenades are okay, don't they both kill people?
Yes, they do. And
what's the difference, Pepe?
I don't know. Ask the league soon. I mean, they'll tell you what the difference is.
That's not nice at all.
Yeah, I mean,
he says he's going to keep doing it too. Then what do you do? Suspend him again?
Well, you have to, because this guy doesn't understand. Obviously, if you tell me not to do something,
but Pepe, he's not violating their edict. They said don't do the finger guns, so he came up with this hand grenade
but
thing.
What is the point of the finger gun? Like you said,
I know.
You know,
that's what I'm saying, Michael. They're going to tell him not to do the grenade thing.
I mean, where's his owner, Robert Pera? Why wouldn't his owner bring him in the office and say, "Listen, young man, you know we know you're the franchise here, but you got to start acting more professionally." Where's the owner, but is having some guts?
Okay, so tell me if you agree with this line of thinking. I was talking to one of their announcers, and he thinks the problem with the Grizzlies is that they don't have any veteran leadership in the locker room. That was supposed to be Marcus Smart, and they ran him off.
Steven Adams used to be there.
Right.
He's no longer.
Like, their oldest player, I think, is Luke Kennard, and he's a role player. Michael, do you believe that a roster, the oldest player in the Thunder have the best record in the league, is Alex Caruso, and he's only 30. So they don't have a veteran presence. Do you think it's important to have veteran leadership on a roster?
No. Have a freaking owner who has some guts and some basketballs to call his players and it says, listen, I'm paying you $30 million a year. I expect you to be a professional. I expect you to represent yourself, your family, this team, and this community in a better light. Where's that owner? What's he afraid of?
What's a better job, the Denver job or the Memphis job?
Well, Denver, because of Jokic. Come on, you can't trust.
Oh, you said 20 minutes ago Jokic might demand to get traded.
Well, if he demands to get traded, then obviously to Memphis. But you got to get Ja under control and make him realize what you're blowing here, young man. You have a chance to make. How old is he? 25. How old is Ja?
25.
You've got a chance to make $600 million over the next 10 years. What are you doing? You got to sit him down, man to man, over a glass of wine or something. Say, what are you doing, man? Why are you acting like an idiot? Where's his owner? You think he would get away with this with Dr. Buss or Jerry West in charge? Are you kidding me?
They just run him out of town.
If he's not going to change his ways, you're right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those two situations resolve. All right, coming up next, Michael Thompson has the game.
Yes.
Game of Games is next. First, I want to tell you guys about Austin Reeves' shoes. Have you been watching Austin? You've seen those flashy shoes he's been rocking? Those are the new AR2s from Rigorer. Austin designed these shoes himself, and they're built for players who grind like he does. He was hands-on in crafting every detail, ensuring the AR2s deliver on the hardwood and on the streets. Whether you're in the game or just want Austin's signature look, these shoes have you covered. Go to Rigorer.com and get your pair. Now, I'm going to spell it for you. Rigorer. Rigorer.com. Rigorer. Rigorer.com. Own a pair of Austin Reeves' signature shoes. That's Rigorer.com. Game of Games is next. ESPN LA.
Tomorrow, LAFC will be battling the San Jose Earthquakes at BMO Stadium, and the first 15,000 fans in attendance will receive a commemorative First Responders pin presented by Kaiser Permanente. Get your tickets at LAFC.com. Hear all the action starting tomorrow night at 7 on the all-new ESPN LA app, your home for the black and gold.
The black and gold are back at home and back to MLS action tomorrow night.
Out wide, Martinez into the area. His shot, and David scores!
It's a SoCal NorCal showdown on a Saturday night as the Earthquakes come to BMO Stadium.
Maurice with a left-handed save. He knocks it over the crossbar and saves a goal.
LAFC battle San Jose in a Western Conference showdown. Coverage begins tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on the ESPN LA app.
If you've been thinking about selling your home and you've heard about Seller's Advantage on the radio or seen them around town, you might be a little skeptical, wondering if they're just another shady company trying to take advantage. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Seller's Advantage has been buying homes from sellers in Southern California for over 20 years. They hold an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they have some of the best reviews in town. Seller's Advantage will make you a competitive cash offer that can match what you'd end up with after paying for expensive repairs and agent commissions without the hassle of listing your home. Plus, they take pride in buying on your terms. If you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage for a no-obligation offer. 888-390-AS-IS. That's 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-2747. Or, better yet, go to their website, sellersadvantage.com.
DRE number 01961658.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
Dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
ESPN LA is hitting the road. Tune in Monday, April 14th to Sedano and Cap as we broadcast live from SeaWorld San Diego. We'll explore the nation's largest standalone jellyfish exhibit, the all-new Jewels of the Sea, featuring awe-inspiring jellyfish, and set sail on a flavor adventure at the Seven Seas Food Festival. Don't miss the action, the fun, and maybe even a few surprises. Monday, April 14th, 3 to 6 p.m. Live from SeaWorld San Diego. SeaWorld San Diego. Open your world to something amazing.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, no Mace today. Andy Kamenetsky's in for him. Michael Thompson's here. Pepe Montilla's here. Brian's playing. Laura's playing. We got 5 contestants. And your game master today is one Michael Thompson. Michael, what do we got?
Talking about the Rockets, since the Lakers are playing the Rockets tonight, it's about Rockets. By the way, the Rockets was the winning name that was chosen for the, at the time, San Diego Rockets. The other names that were considered, Kamenetsky, Commodores, Jeeps, and Turtles.
Turtles would be a terrible name.
Especially if the team is all...
Turtles.
I better not say that.
By the way, original San Diego Rocket, Michael?
Yes.
Stu Lance.
That's right, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Who invented rockets? Chinese, Germans, or Greeks?
Brian.
Germans.
Laura.
Greeks.
Andy.
Chinese.
I'm with Andy. Chinese. Pepe.
Chinese.
It is the Chinese.
Yes.
All right, Andy on the
Why did I
board,
think
John on
we-
the board, Pepe on the board.
Which century did the Chinese invent rockets? 10th, 12th, or 14th century?
Laura.
12.
Andy.
14th.
I also say 14th. Pepe.
12.
Brian.
14.
It is 12th.
12. So, Andy, you got that, right?
No, I had said 14.
I said 12.
Laura
I
said
said
12,
12 too.
and Pepe said 12.
Which
Okay,
rocket?
Pepe's ahead.
Which rocket was used to send men to the moon? Gemini, Mercury, or Saturn V?
Andy.
Saturn V?
What you said, Gemini?
Mercury or Saturn V?
I don't know why you would add the 5. I'm going Saturn V. Pepe.
I think it's Saturn.
Brian.
I think it's Gemini.
Laura.
I think it's Saturn
It
V.
is Saturn V.
Okay, everybody but Brian. Hey, Brian. You're scoreless.
Damn it.
Are you really?
Pepe has 3. Andy, John, Laura have 2. Brian, Bupkis.
How many miles per second does a rocket need to fly to escape Earth's gravity and reach space? 5, 6, or 7 miles per second?
I'm going to say 7. Pepe.
7.
Brian.
7.
Laura.
7. Lucky 7.
Andy.
Clean sweep.
It is 7 miles per
All
second.
right, everybody, Brian's on the board.
The first
Get it,
living The first living thing to be launched into space on a rocket in 1957 was what kind of animal? Dog, monkey, or cat?
Pepe.
I think it's a dog.
Brian.
Cat.
Laura.
Gatito, cat.
Andy.
Perro, the dog.
I'm going monkey.
It was dog.
All right, so Andy got it. Anybody else get it? You got it?
I'm
Pepe
so mad.
Michael is 5 for 5.
By the way, the dog died on re-entry, burned up in space.
Aw, why would you say that?
Yeah, that kind of ruins the bit.
Okay.
No.
Everybody guess here. If a rocket could travel at the speed of light, how fast in miles per hour would it have to fly? Take a guess.
Brian.
2,000.
2,000 miles per hour?
Yeah. Laura.
Jeez.
50,000. I don't know.
50,000. That's better.
Andy.
Well, thank you for the hint, Mike.
Right? Seriously.
I had no idea. 150,000.
Clearly out, Brian.
Michael, I'm going to go 300,000 miles an hour. Pepe, how about you?
I'm going to say 350,000 miles.
670 million
Pepe
miles
got
per
it.
hour.
Wow, Pepe got it. All right, listen, Pepe is jumping out to a big lead now. He has 6. He's 6 for 6.
The Saturn V.
Andy has 4. John and Laura 3. Brian 1. Go ahead.
The Saturn V rocket was the biggest and most powerful rocket ever built. If it was a building, how many stories high would it be? 30, 33, or 36 stories high?
Pepe.
33.
Brian.
33.
Laura.
36.
Andy.
30.
I'll go 36.
36 feet. 36 stories.
Okay.
363 feet tall.
Laura got it and I got it. So Pepe 6. Andy, John, Laura 4 each. Brian with 1.
How many space shuttles were built? 4, 6, or 8?
Pepe.
Space shuttles?
Yes.
6.
4, 6, or 8?
6.
Brian.
I'll take 8.
Laura.
I'll take 6.
Andy.
6.
I'm going 8.
It is 6.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Andy got it. Pepe is 7 for 7.
Laura
got it. Brian got it. All right, so Pepe 7. Laura and Andy 5. John 4. And Brian 2.
Buzz in. What were the names of the 2 space shuttles that were lost or destroyed on their mission?
Ireland.
Okay,
Challenger.
Yes.
And
3.
Sputnik.
2. Nope. Sputnik.
That's the only one that popped into my head.
Anybody? Challenger and?
Brian. Apollo.
Brian. No.
Pepe.
Pepe.
Mercury.
No. Challenger and?
Andy, Laura.
Think of a river.
All right, no, that's too big of a hint. What's the answer?
Columbia.
Wait, Columbia?
Columbia. That's the name of the space shuttle that blew up on a re-entry.
I needed a much better hint.
Yeah.
Columbia River? You never heard of
I was
Columbia
like,
River?
what? River, Columbia? I would have never
no,
put those
Think of
together.
that country.
No, your hint should have been cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would have gotten that. I would have been,
Or,
you know what I'm saying?
Escobar would have been a good hint. Okay.
The name rocket derives from the word roquetta. From which language? German, Spanish, or Italian?
Pepe.
Italian.
Brian.
German.
Laura.
Spanish.
Andy.
Sounds Spanish to me.
I think Pepe's right. I think it's Italian. What is it, Michael?
It is Italian.
Okay.
Okay,
Pepe
They're very
is
close
8
languages.
for 8. You have to make your questions harder for Pepe. Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All
Keep
right.
going.
How
Let's
many
do
men-
5.
Wait, didn't he lock this in?
We'll do 5 more.
How many men did the Saturn V rocket help take to walk on the moon? 10, 12, or 14?
Pepe.
10.
I'll go 12. Andy.
Repeat it one more time.
How many
10,
men?
12, or 14?
Basically, how many men rocketed to the moon to walk on the moon? 10, 12, or 14?
12.
Laura.
12.
Brian.
10.
It is 12.
Boy, Pepe, you got it again?
No,
he had
10.
14. Oh, so, Andy, you got it, right? Laura, you got it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we got 4 more left. Pepe has 8. Laura and Andy have 6. John has 5, and Brian has 2. Brian, you're out.
All total,
Good
how
game.
many men orbited the moon? 20, 22, or 24?
Pepe.
24.
Laura.
22.
Andy.
24.
I'm going to go 22. What's the answer, Michael?
24.
Pepe is 9 for 9.
No, you missed one.
9 for 10.
Which one did he miss?
The last one.
Oh, okay. So I gave you a point on that.
Once launched from Earth.
Wait, who else got that right? Andy,
Yeah.
you got it. So Andy has 7, Pepe has 9, and Laura, did you get that, Laura?
I have 6.
Okay.
Once launched from Earth, how long did it take the Apollo astronauts to reach the moon? 2, 3, or 4 days?
Pepe.
3.
I think that's the right answer, but I'm going to go 4. Andy?
I'll go 4 as well.
Laura?
Do I have to go opposite? Not yet, right?
Not yet.
4.
It is 4.
All right, so everybody but Pepe got that. All right, so we have 2 left. Let's do 3 more. We'll
Okay.
do 3 more, and then Pepe has 9, Andy has 8, Laura has 7, and John has 6.
Of the 12 men who walked on the moon, how many are still alive? 0, 2, or 4?
Pepe.
4.
Andy.
2.
Laura.
Those 2.
I'm going to say 0. What's the answer?
4.
Ooh.
Wow.
Buzz Aldrin is the oldest at 95.
All right, so there's 2 left. Laura, you're out 2.
Okay, la.
Andy, you have 8, and Pepe has 10, so you've got to go opposite of Pepe on these 2. Here we go.
To rocket to space, how many miles up must you fly to reach orbit? 62, 64, or 66 miles?
Pepe?
66.
Andy, go different.
64.
What's the answer, Michael?
62.
Oh, so Pepe wins it. Wow, that was an impressive performance.
Senor Cojete over here.
Yeah, you got 10 out of 12 right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Pepe.
And you said that I didn't know
By
anything.
Moroccans, I'm surprised.
Why are you
Tiebreaker.
surprised? I'm a very smart person.
All right, see if you know this one. The most expensive thing ever built in human history is the ISS. What is that, Pepe?
I have no
International Space Station.
Right. How much did it cost to construct?
Okay. I will say 7 billion. Pepe?
I would say 15 billion.
15, 1-5?
1-5.
1-5. Andy?
I'll say 18 billion.
Laura?
20.
20 billion?
Yeah, sure.
Brian?
24 billion.
What is it, Michael?
$150 billion.
Wow.
Nice.
Brian got it, but that not you were
so low,
I was a
Brian.
little off,
you were
yeah.
so off. It probably didn't matter. Yeah, wow.
2,000 miles an hour? Is
I
the speed
don't
of
know.
light, Brian?
If I didn't go
So you're trying to
first,
say
you know.
I know,
Air
you
Force
laughed.
jets flying 2,000 miles going the speed of light?
My 2 wins came
Are
on
from
your
him.
game.
I know. From his
Very
game.
good.
Kind of crazy.
They're conspiring.
All right, coming up next.
Immigrants taking care of each other.
Momo is here. If you
I'm
ask
an immigrant.
Morales, Momo just did this show, but he's the only one who said it. So Momo's going to do the next show with Cappy, and they'll come in here for a little super crosstalk. That's next, ESPN LA.
The most followed sports radio station in the world.
In the world. That's right. In the world.
710 ESPN.
You know it. Yeah, tell your friends.
At ESPN Los Angeles on Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch.
We're naturally entertaining.
Yes.
LA's mega sports station. 710 ESPN.
Don't navigate the legal system alone. Hey, it's Travis. At the personal injury law offices of Joseph S. Normand, they will fight tirelessly to get you the max compensation you deserve. Joe and his team understand the emotional and financial toll that an injury can take on you and your life. Call 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand have helped thousands of people like you recover millions of dollars in settlements and verdicts. Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. Your recovery is their priority.
Open your world to all that SeaWorld San Diego has to discover. Make new connections with orcas, belugas, dolphins, and more. Explore all new depths with Jewels of the Sea, an immersive experience featuring vivid displays of awe-inspiring jellyfish species now open. And set sail on a flavorful journey as you sample your way through an all-new menu at the Seven Seas Food Festival. There's so much more to SeaWorld than ever before. Save up to 55% on tickets, fun cards, and passes during our spring spectacular sale. Hurry, offer ends soon. Restrictions may apply.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
That is the bullhorn of one Scott Kaplan. Hi, Cap.
Hello, everybody.
Momo's here, Michael's here, Andy's here, Pepe's heading over to the game. You can check him out later on KWKW if you want to hear the game in Spanish.
Ramona's got some dirt. I want to hear this, Ramona.
Now, Ramona just walked in and said, Michael said...
Wait. Let me say it. Because what I said off there is not how I would say it on the air.
Oh,
Say it, Momo.
Okay.
Say it off air. Come on, Momo. Say it off air.
Well, no, I think, look, the WNBA draft should not have much mystery. There's Paige Becker. She should go number one.
It's on Monday. I'm going to watch it.
But the issue is, like, if you're Paige Beckers and you have been at UConn forever, like
5 years, right?
5 years, you're ready to go. But Dallas Wings, outside of Enrique Ogunbowale, have never really done anything. That's not a signature franchise.
Neither did the Indiana Fever before Caitlin got there.
Yeah, but it's kind of perfect for her. Like she went to Iowa. Geographically, that's perfect. Like there's no natural tie-in for Paige Beckers.
So where does she want to go?
Look, she's gonna have to go if they draft
right.
her.
But where would she try to manipulate?
But what I'm saying
she's
is,
from Minnesota.
Right.
what I'm gonna say, and this is how I'm gonna say it. If they draft her, the next thing would be to go, right? But I think she is a woman with some options.
Like what?
I think she could, if she wanted to, if she was of that mind, which I don't think she is. I don't think she wants to rock the boat or anything like that. If I were, a lot of WNBA players have decided not to go in the draft this year.
Well, she has
have you noticed that?
Yeah, she's got another year of eligibility.
She does.
Oh.
Wow. And there's
also,
also, and I don't think she wants to go back to UConn. It's been 5 years. They won a title. This is the perfect moment to ride off in the sunset.
Yeah.
But what if like Olivia Miles, who I think would have been drafted probably second overall, she decided I'm going to go in the transfer portal. I'm not going to go to the league this year. You know why?
Why?
Because they're doing
More
a new
money?
CBI. They're doing a new CBA after next season. So that's why in free agency in the WNBA, nobody signed for more than 1 year. Everything was a 1 year deal because it's like the whole league is going to be free agent next year. And it's going to be a new collective bargaining agreement. It's going to have totally different terms. And if you're a part of this one, you're going to be sort of grandfathered in under the old deal. But if you decide to wait a year, then you are under whatever the new CBA is. And so, okay, what are your options? You could just not declare for the draft. I mean, because you have eligibility, you don't have to declare for the draft. You don't have to go back to UConn either.
you're draft eligible, so you don't have to declare for the draft. They draft you anyway, right?
No.
You have to declare for the draft if
you
you're
have
a
to declare
senior?
for the draft.
I
Okay,
didn't realize
now,
that.
yeah, it's a nice little loophole. And then the other option and the other ideas are, what if you just went and played in Unrivaled? Guess who happens to be an early stage investor in Unrivaled?
I'm guessing LeBron.
Paige Beckers.
Is she?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Point of information.
Yeah.
I swear to you, I may sound stupid.
You don't know
but
what Unrivaled is?
I do not.
Okay, it's that 3-on-3 league that they played down in Miami with all the WNBA players this year.
Yeah.
They actually did really well. They played from January to May.
Right.
So it'd be a long layoff to not play from like April to next January. That's a long time. There's European clubs you could go play for and probably make a lot of money. So I think she has a lot more options than people realize.
Let me throw you guys here. I've asked Michael about this before, but I don't think I brought it up in front of any of the other guys. Think about Live Golf, what Live Golf was. They basically came in and said, the Saudis came in and said, we have an unlimited amount of money. We're going to take the best players we can get and compete a rival league. And although it hasn't gone smooth, all those guys are being paid, and they all left the PGA Tour to go play for Live. If a foreign entity came in and said, we're starting a new basketball league, And instead of playing in Memphis and Milwaukee, we're going to have teams in Monte Carlo and Barcelona.
Wow.
And instead of having to play 100 games, you guys only have to play 30 games. And we're going to double all your salaries. So, Luka, you make $50 million, we'll pay you $100 million. I think they would only need to get 3 players. I think they would need to get Wemby, Luka, and Jokic. And
all international guys?
That league is off and running.
What about Steph?
Steph and LeBron could do it if they wanted to at the end of their careers. They probably don't need the money, but they could if they wanted to. What's to stop that from happening?
I think they need more than that. None of those guys are media
More
darlings.
than $100 million?
If
Wemby's
they wanted
media
to go.
darling. Wemby's media darling.
Yeah, he's good, but I don't think that's enough intrigue for people to watch games that would probably be like in the middle of the night. That are going to be like all those guys. Luka played for a European club, right? He played for
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, and was it no, not Barcelona. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Okay, like he played over there. When you watch the Olympics, did you watch the Olympics to watch like when Serbia played Greece? Did you watch those? You probably
I did.
Yeah. But I don't feel like
I thought those
that
games were
many
great.
like NBA fans would watch Serbia-Greece.
Cappy, what do you think about the competing league idea?
I think that you're actually right, that if hypothetically the Saudis, using them as an example because you used them for Live Golf, if they wanted to create a competing league, and John, you mentioned 3 guys that are all international stars, none of those guys are American-born, that if you kept all those European players at home and they didn't play in the NBA, you might have an argument that the NBA is still the best league, but not by far any longer. You know what I'm saying? Like the Premier League of soccer
I
is
think it's going to take a lot more than what you're describing. Like for all the disruption of Live, I don't feel like they've actually drawn away any real attention from the PGA.
But it's not.
No, but
it's
Andy,
not attention they're looking for. They're looking for a viable financial model, and they've got that.
I don't think they do. Are they making money? Live?
Well, no, but the players are.
The players are, but
That's
the
not what
league
we're talking
is
about.
just being funded by
Right.
the Saudi
You're
oil.
talking about something that feels like a viable competitor to the NBA. In the Live comparison, I would say Live shows more why it wouldn't work than it does work.
I agree.
but Andy, hold on one
I
second.
think you got to get a lot more players. It's like, would you? How many NBA fans watched the Olympics when it wasn't Team USA playing?
Here's where you could maybe make what John's talking about work. You can't do both. I think part of why Live hasn't completely stolen the thunder of the PGA is ultimately
they can play in the majors.
They can play both.
Yeah.
Right.
If this other Monte Carlo league that you're suggesting with $100 million everything and whatever, you can only do one or the other, and they get enough players to migrate. Then you're talking about something. But as a competitive league, like a competitor to the NBA, with even 3 players like Wemby and Jokic and Luka, no, I don't.
It would
think
take more than those 3 guys. But the only thing is this, is that whether or not, let me ask everybody here a question. Has anybody here ever watched a Live Golf tournament?
Nope.
No, I don't even know where you find it.
I know. And you know what? You find it sometimes on like independent channels, like the CW or one of those kinds of channels on TV.
Wow.
And then they have team names and they have like different rules. Okay. And so if you're a PGA fan and you go and watch Live, you're like, I don't even know what I'm watching here.
Right.
I mean, I know it's the game of golf, but I don't understand the team dynamic. But Andy, would you agree that Live taking all of those stars damaged the PGA Tour significantly?
I mean, to some degree, maybe, but again, nobody's paying attention to Live. Like, John is a golf fanatic, and he's never watched any Live.
John, are you watching as much PGA as you used to?
No, and it doesn't mean just because golf fans aren't watching Live that it's not a viable option for golfers. In other words,
but you're talking about 2 different things. You're talking about whether it's an option for the players is different than whether it's a competitive thing against another league.
But if you take away the best golfers, if you take away the best golfers on the PGA Tour, which they took away a lot of big names, then all of a sudden PGA Tour events don't have the same feel that they once had because you don't have the big stars all competing against one another. I can tell you guys this. What used to be a great tournament every year at Torrey Pines, the Farmers Insurance Open, is like a minor league tour event, unfortunately. Now, it looks major league on TV, but you don't have the stars. When the Genesis went from L.A. down to San Diego, all the people that went to that went, oh my God, this is what the Farmers used to be, because all the players, the star players of the PGA Tour were all there.
Yeah.
I think, again, it's two separate questions. Whether you're talking about what is a good option for the players is a different question than could one league or one entity wipe out the other. Live may be a great option for some of these players, but I don't think they've wiped out the PGA.
They haven't, but the PGA has suffered from it.
big time.
And so that's, I think,
But not in a way
basketball-
that's really grown Live, though. If anything, it feels like both are just kind of static.
I would agree with that.
I think basketball needs to play some defense. But let's get back to reality here. You guys know that there's a way there could be a 5-way tie in the West? 5-way tie.
It's kind of been a 5-way tie
Tell
for the
him,
last
Michael.
month.
What about the tiebreakers?
No, the tiebreakers would then kick in. But right now, Michael, here's 8th place Minnesota, 47-33.
Yeah, I love Cappy.
7th place Memphis, 47-33. 6th place Golden State, 47-33. 5th place Clippers, 48-32. 4th place Nuggets, 48-32. Those are 5 teams separated by 1 game.
The Lakers have what, 49?
The Lakers are 49-31. If they win tonight, they lock in the 3. Like, let me ask you guys, like, tonight, Memphis plays Denver. Mama, who wins that game?
I think Denver wins because they're at home, and Memphis played last night.
I agree.
Is Denver at home? I think they're at home.
Yeah, that game's in Denver.
Yeah.
If that happens, I think it sends Memphis to the play-in tournament.
I do too.
Yeah.
And it keeps Denver in the 4 over the Clippers. Clippers-Kings, Sacramento Kings tonight. Clippers win that?
They should.
And then Sunday, Michael, is the big game.
That's
Clippers
for all the marbles.
at Warriors, which could move either one of them up or down. And I don't know who wins that. I assume that it's in San Francisco. If you made me pick the game, Andy, I would pick the Warriors,
So
but I
would
wouldn't
I.
feel great about it.
Well, the Clippers have had their number all year.
And they'll be playing to avoid the Lakers, right?
And they've been playing well lately.
So wait, okay. Let's say we get there. What's the
No,
scenario
Michael,
where the
the-
Lakers play the Clippers in the first round? Where it'd be 3-6?
It would require the Warriors. So right now the Clippers are 1 game ahead of the Warriors.
Right.
I don't know who has the tiebreaker. but
The Clippers do because they've won 3 already. 3.
Then the only way the Lakers could play the Clippers, assuming for the sake of this discussion, let's
Okay.
assume the Lakers win tonight. The only way the Clippers
It's in the fridge.
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
Tell him, Michael.
The only way the Clippers, Ramona, could slide to the 6 is if they lose twice.
Right. That makes
So
sense.
they would have to lose tonight in Sacramento, which is unlikely.
By the way, Sacramento's good though. I was just there 2 nights ago. I was doing the Nuggets and the Nuggets first game after they fired Mike Malone and everybody.
How'd they look? Did it look like they were happy that Malone was gone or no?
Do you ever walk into a room after a coach gets fired and all that, and it's like super tense and everybody feels really bad and everything? This was the opposite. You knew where I was going.
Right.
I mean, I don't want. I'm not going to name names, okay? But I walked in and
there was a little bit of ding dong. The witch is
the,
dead.
Like the whole locker room was it was a visiting locker room, so it's like they're all there. There's nowhere for them to hide when they're on the road, right?
What's the problem? Was he too intense for those guys? Like,
I will tell this story very quickly, okay? Because there's a lot. I just wrote like 3,000 words on
Okay.
stuff, but essentially,
Is that published yet? Can I read it?
it's out there. I
Okay.
tweeted it this morning.
Okay.
It is. You won't read it, so it's nice of you to pretend.
How long will 3,000 words take me?
10 minutes. It's
Oh,
not
I
that
can do
long.
that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Mason doesn't read any of Ramona's.
I think he does. I think he pretends he doesn't.
responds to Ramona every time she sends out one of her articles. TLDR. Too long, didn't read.
I will tell. If I tell you now, you probably won't go back and read it. Okay, but
Go ahead, tell us. I'll go back and read it no matter what.
okay. So I really think that Calvin Booth is a really bright guy. Michael, do you know him at all?
it's just that I'm saying hello to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're a little older than him, but he played in the league for a long time. He was
I
one
met
of
him
those-
in a Rams practice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Demoff, who's the president of the Rams,
Right.
is also now the president of the Nuggets and the Avalanche and all the Kroenke sports things. So he was heavily involved here. Anyway, so Calvin Booth, really smart guy, 6'10" guy. You played in the league, role player, and I think he just, I think he had some guts in the sense of like he had this championship team. And the Nuggets, as an organization, have generally been fairly cheap. They don't really go into the tax very often. They've only done it for the first time ever the last couple of years because they have this team.
Right.
And they have Jokic and et cetera. But they looked at it like, we found some bargains in Bruce Brown and Caldwell Pope and Jeff Green and we drafted Christian Brown, and some of these guys worked out really well. But we can find some other bargains. Like our core are the 4 guys we're paying a lot of money to: Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. That's pretty top heavy, and so everybody else kind of has to fit in to whatever salary spots they have. So they let Bruce Brown go. He got $20 million a year.
They literally could not.
They
re-sign
couldn't
him.
keep. Yeah, there's no way. Now they could
Like,
have
they
kept
weren't
KCP.
allowed to by CBA rule.
But they could have kept KCP, and they
Yes.
tried to. I know they tried to, but he decided to go out. This is a long story, but there was a sign and trade they could have done with Dallas where they would have ended up getting sort of what Dallas gave to Detroit. Okay, in their deal, they would have got like Tim Hardaway Jr. or whatever. They didn't want that. You know why? Because Calvin Booth looks at it and says, okay, if we want to keep this window open for another 5-6 years, which we think Jokic can be that good, we got to develop some of these kids. We got to play those kids. And if we have all these veterans here, my coach is not going to play the kids. Because my coach is, like Phil Jackson, what do you call rookies?
Pond scum.
Pond scum.
All right, but
whale
wait.
poo. Like whatever,
Okay, forget those
whale
guys.
poo.
Yeah.
Everybody, what is on everybody's mind, Ramona, is will Jokic ask out?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
I don't think he's got it in him. Now, I wouldn't put. Now, I don't think he will. I think if it would have kept going the way it was,
So he wants to not have a chance to win another ring. Stuck with these guys.
I think they can win, but
they're not going to win another ring.
Let me tell you the rest.
It's in the fridge, Mike.
So Calvin basically Calvin would draft these guys, and I think Christian Brown's good. I think Watson's good. Strawther, this guy Jalen Pickett, but these are like late first round guys, second round guys, and he kind of picks these older guys who can play right away. And
Ramona.
Michael Malone was like, yeah, I'm not going to play this second round guy from Penn State that you got in the, as a rookie instead of Reggie Jackson.
Right.
I'm going to play Russell Westbrook when Jamal Murray gets hurt. I'm going to, he rolled with the veterans.
Russ, am I correct? Because I've read a few reports, including yours, about the TikToks of what happened. It seems like Malone's belief in Russ had become a point of contention.
No. I
Okay.
disagree with that. I think that Malone just gave him he just wore him into the ground. I think Russ is worn out. I think he played him too much.
No, but I mean like the idea that Russ could screw up
Calvin
at times. Russ could screw up at times where
cares
other
about
players
that.
couldn't.
I got to ask Ramona.
Let me say this.
I got to ask you this before we get out of here, Ramona. This is important.
Yeah.
Luka and Jokic are good friends.
Yeah, they are.
They're Euros. They're tight.
Yeah.
You don't think Luka's going to whisper in his ear some sweet
They're
nothings this
definitely going to
summer?
try to. I mean, everybody will try to make offers. Why wouldn't they?
You don't think those two would like to play together?
Of course they would. But what did the Lakers have to get him? They just gave up everything in the Luka trade.
I went
Bronny.
through this, actually.
Bronny? Why are you trying to trade Bronny?
I'm not trying to trade him.
What are you going to do? Like Austin Reeves is not going to be the headliner of a Luka trade.
What about 5 or 6
You know what I
first-round
mean?
picks?
No. Now.
You mean a Jokic trade?
I'm sorry. Yeah, a Jokic trade.
I went through this because I thought John was going to bring it up. And this is, according to going through the trade machines and whatever, looking at the Lakers picks available, what seems like the best they could offer Denver. Austin, Dalton Connect, Rui because he's expiring, Gabe's because he's expiring, Maxi Kleber because he's expiring, the 26, 28, and 30 first-round picks, and the 25 second. That's the only
not
one.
enough.
Right,
Not
I'm just
enough?
saying that's like the best offer.
What?
That's the best offer.
Not enough.
For
Not
Jokic?
enough. We're not trying to trade for Jesus.
You kind of are.
Kinda
like,
are.
I'm going to tell you something. I am a true believer in Jokic now. Every time I watch, I think he's like
great.
LeBron. I think he's like Magic. He's he's so freaking good.
Right.
And
you say that's not enough.
Okay, hey, absolute
No, I
last
mean,
thing because
yeah,
we're way
okay.
over. After spending time in Dallas, I can't believe that Rob Pelinka was able to hang on to Austin Reeves.
I can't either.
Had Nico said, "All right, I'll do the deal, but you can keep Max Christie. I have to have Austin Reeves." Rob would have had done that, right? He
Where would the Lakers be without him?
Without Austin, they
Right.
wouldn't be where they are.
That's right.
But Ramona, don't you think that he had to be in that deal from a Dallas perspective?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'm
I mean-
so thankful. I don't know how Rob did it. I don't know what smoke and mirrors he did in order to hang on to Austin, but thank God he did, because now we're going into the playoffs and we're the team nobody wants to play. Sedano and Cap coming up next. Momo!